Okay. Got some crazy hair. It's been a long day today. Am I coming through the ones that are on here? Yep. Good. Put this hair up. Do my maintenance on this crazy head of mine. Hey, everybody. Hey, Wildcat. Getting close to being home, aren't you? Samson's Farm, Georgia Malone. I want to say a shout out to you in a little while. Broussard Homestead, Waterman Homestead, Lisa McIntosh, the Tinkerer's Wife, She Momini, Atkins Family Homestead, Roger Off Grid Homestead, Fairy Tale Creation, my hero. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. There's already 26 on and 14 thumbs up. Keep hitting them, guys. Homestead Land, welcome. School Out Fishing. Hey, how are you doing, brother? The music, well, good to see you back. Pizza Homestead, always a house. Getting started on the homestead. Four Blessings Farm. Busy little house. There's some family. The micro farm starter. Hey, how are you? Let's see. Francis Kupik. Always nice to say. I always get your name wrong. I'm sorry. Outdoor with Eric. How are you? Uh-oh. I remember that. Hold on. I'll give you one of those. Just make sure you honor the hammer. And remember that Mims's Garden is the boss. Hey, guys. Hey, Melody. How are you today? Homestead Land. How are you? ELYN. How are you? Mims's Garden. Hero. Love you, girl. Consider it Joy Homestead. How are you today? Kirsty. How are you? I watched some of your live the other night. You did a really good job. Homestead Hustle. I love the name of your channel. McLennan Homestead. Hold on. I owe you a gift. Let's see. See if that got you. What's going on there? Let's see. Going to Smith's Stedden. How are you? Hit that thumbs up for me, guys and gals. Hopefully you watched the channel. Uh-oh. I think YouTube is being some craziness. Nathan, you're back, brother. I appreciate you doing it too. Ah, good job, Melody. Did her first video today. Everybody go check that out. What's it under, Melody? Under your name, or is it underneath the mellow hollow thing you were talking about? Overlook Valley Homestead. Hello. Saw you come in earlier. I was watching the chat. So trying to keep up. We started a little bit early so everybody could watch those ads for me. Thank you. I'll tell you why it's so important to watch those ads in a minute. We'll wait until everybody gets on. Everybody's doing everything. Can I hire you to make one of those meat sticks for barbecue? It's for my hubby. Oh, are you talking to me, the Tinkerer's Wife, or are you talking to the McLennans, Chris? I don't know. My day has been crazy. It's been a very good day, but it's been a crazy week this week. So we'll let you guys know about that. Wanderlust Homesteaders, how are you? There's Duncan 1900 Super Mod. How are you doing today, Brenda? Okay. Which meat stick are you talking about? Tinkerer's Wife. I don't think I've put anything out on a meat stick. I have done some before, but that's it's kind of crazy that you would know that. Stivers family, how's it going? Love yous. Can't wait to come see you guys again. Getting started on the homestead. Nice to have you guys back. 45 in the house, 32 thumbs up. Narrowway Farms. Hey, hey. Yeah, American does well on Duncan 1900 and Mims and those. Uh, the pointed. Oh, okay. Actually, I have an extra one. You're talking about my meat turners. Uh, I have an extra one. Yes, send me an email and we'll talk about that, and I'll get it over to you. But yeah, I've got an extra one. When you said meat stick, I'm thinking about a sausage. Oh, so yeah, Tinker's wife, let me know. Send me a deal. Olivia, how are you? I see Hidden Valley Homestead on here too. I didn't miss you. The busy little house. You like that? You'll see. I've got other creations too. Um, a friend of mine bought me that. I love coffee, as y'all know. It says I own you, and it's got a coffee cup on it. Just a funny shirt. I think one of my friends bought that for ELYN to give to me for Father's Day 2 or 3 years ago. So, oh, somebody get that. Okay. Hey, Jennifer, how are you? Oh, Overlook. Yeah, go ahead and post that up there. You're at 297 subs. Need 3 more. If anybody out here hasn't done Overlook, go over and check them out. They are well worth it. Living the Dream Homestead. Another, I think it's Idaho, correct? Living the Dream. You're out there with Hidden Valley and those guys. Well, Hidden Valley's out there. Hey, Mom, how are you? Did you go have your shots in your feet today, Mom? Mom had to go have some shots done in her feet today, guys. So say a little prayer for her that they get to feeling better. Oh, your French press broke. Mine did too. So I've been using the percolator. So Mom's name is Carolyn, as it says in her little title. I think I'm gonna try to get her to do a video with me soon. So I think that would be a lot of fun for you guys. Thanks, Chris. Hey, Two Wild Onions, I didn't see you come by. I missed you. I'm sorry. You guys did a great live last night. I appreciate you guys taking the time to do that for us. Yes, I did, and it hurt really bad. I hate that it hurt this time so bad, Mom. If nobody knows and you have some questions, my mom has fibromyalgia real bad. Not to share a lot of her information with you, but if any of you guys are suffering that, my mom has been dealing with it for, gosh, Mom, what, 20, 25 years now? Full fledged, just outright, just painful. And she's gotten a lot better and a lot worse and a lot better, and it keeps going back and forth for her. So, yeah. Yeah, Fairy Tale Creations. You were talking about you have fibron too, if I'm not mistaken, and the keto diet helped out a lot. So, Mom, that's something you need to look into is the keto diet. Two family in the house, Sherry and Daryl. How are you guys? I appreciate you sneaking in. We started a little early so that people could watch those great little ads at the beginning of all this stuff. Hey, the redheaded hunter, how are you? Hey guys, that's a young man. He's only 17 years old. He's got his own channel, the redheaded hunter. He's been helping lay block on my neighbor Steven's house that's coming in. His dad owns a masonry company, and he helps out on that. But you want to talk about some fun? I haven't got to go over and watch too many of his videos yet, but plan on going to see that. So if you got the time and you like the outdoors and you like to hunt and fish and you want to support a young man that truly loves this type of lifestyle of living country, is how we say it up here or in these Appalachian mountains, go check him out. It will be worth your time. Hopefully, we're gonna help him. We're gonna work with him a little bit on his videos and stuff, and get him some stuff going on. Sherry Nation, how are you? Michigan Mike, how are you, bud? Everything is going super here. Homestead Hustle, Look Valley, making lemons from lemonades. Good to see you. Frogger's Garage, how are you? He is a hard worker. He's been over cutting block all day. They laid 2 walls today and got it finished up. They're going to pour some concrete over at Steven's place too. She Bears Acres, how are you? Nice to have you in the house. There's 2 wild onions. Now I see you. So yeah, it's getting funny because we'll go through and go to the store now, and somebody's walking up to us saying, "Hey, we watched you the other night," or something of that nature, and it's real fun. ELYN enjoys that part of it. So let's see. The redheaded hunter was telling me about that he went 2 weekends ago to his buddies down in. Are we buffering? Is anybody else getting buffering? Let me know. I'll try to adjust this. That's me moving the table, making it shake like. See if we a little bit and see make it a little better. If I sit back a little or something. Oh, there we go. Let's see. We've got some wind and stuff going on here, guys. Let's see. Just a bit here, Chris. Okay. I'm getting 3 bars on here, so it's been crazy. Yeah, I'm adjusting back after being at Jason's. So, okay, so I'm sitting back now. So we'll see what happens here in a few minutes if that settles down with me sitting back. You know me, I got to move around a little bit. My house is a total mess, guys. I need to hire a maid for a week to come in and help me get it all under control because where I've been traveling so much. Oh, what would this be, Miss Olivia, as I drink my coffee? We'll talk about this in a little while. Speaking of the lights being off. Oh, Heidi Haven Homestead, how are you? Chad is getting fast now, Chris. You're too big. Hey, it's going nuts. We'll go over that stuff. We'll let it get into actual time. So now we're actually, yeah, there's Olivia. You guys need some stuff done. Look right here. Order you some of these. They're awesome. They're big cups too. Look at that. I can't even palm it. So that's a pretty big cup, and it is full of Joe. I'm going to show you some other stuff this beautiful young lady and Scott with 1T sent me. Oh, man. So anyway, thanks, Georgia Malone. We're going to talk about you in a few minutes too, and your wonderful husband and daughters. So I think, Scott, I think Olivia needs to make her own channel, homestead crafting from the city or something. I don't know, to show some of her work that she does where we're at. Well, actually, guys, here's the thing. I was looking for my book from Big Bear. Well, we did the live there last week. Hey, Broussards, how you doing? Yeah, we need me to come down there. I would love to come down there, but right now I don't know if funds will. We're going to talk about some stuff tonight. But anyway, the person who was supposed to send me scripture did not send me scripture, which maybe worked out because I got a good subject for scripture and stuff tonight, but I'm going to hold off on that, Scott. And then last week, if I'm not mistaken, we talked about canning and we talked about doing something for security, but no one ever came back and said for sure which one we were going to do. So I think we're going to do a little bit of both of those, canning and security, because I know Miss Georgia Malone was asking some questions in the pre-chat when it was just everybody chatting to each other. And I really would like to go into that to help her out and her daughter out a little bit. So we'll see what happens. And then we're going to talk about other stuff. So we'll get to that in a minute. Soggy Bottom Homestead, how are you? Yeah, I've heard Anna's been canning like a boss. I'm hoping she's making videos because those will be great videos for her to get hours with because everybody will watch them. So I'm getting pulled from guys. So listen to this. I went through today and I've got a list of people that I'm watching because I can't make everybody's lives and I can't make everybody's videos every day because I try to take 30 in the morning, 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening and watch as I go. And then if I sit down and eat lunch or something, I'll jump back on and look at stuff. There's a hero back to Earth Living. Hey, how are you? I'm also trying to catch people as they come in. But I'm going in and looking at stuff like the Max Happy Homestead. I went in there earlier. I saw that they were live, did a great job doing their live. Jumped on there and actually realized that they had kicked me off of their page again. So, and that's twice now with Max Happy Homestead, because I watched one of their videos here a while back and then went back and watched it again, which is another great young channel to go check out. I think you guys are sitting at like 290 some subs right now, aren't you? The Max Happy Homestead, like 279 or something. Hey, we need one more for Overlook Valley Homestead to get to 300, guys. That's awesome. If you guys have not went and checked them out, go check them out. Ramey Vines and Homestead Times. Hey, welcome. Appreciate you coming in. Yeah. Ready to Hunter, you're probably going to get some subs tonight if everybody wants to come over and check you out. The Tinker's Wife's at 769. Here for the next few minutes, guys. If you want to post some stuff like that, there's no problem. Yeah, 769, not 269. I'm sorry. That came up. Okay. So yeah, living the dream. Bam, it was 300. Good to go. The Tinker's Wife's at 136. Yeah. So good. Yeah, I don't mind everybody shooting out that, and you guys need to go back and forth. And we're not a sub for sub channel, but what we are is a supporter of our community. And every channel that's on here tonight is another homesteading channel, and then or supporters. So I encourage you guys to go look at each other, check out each other's things. But I'll tell you this: if you go on and you watch a couple of videos for somebody, and they're not preaching the message that, hey, there's my brother-in-law Simon Townsend, how are you, hit that thumbs up. But if you go and you watch them and you don't like what they're putting out, as far as say they don't hit the same beliefs that you have in your heart, and you just don't feel like you need to, don't sub them, guys. I'm not telling you to sub anybody. Go watch and watch. I watch channels before I sub you. So if I'm subbed to you, understand I've watched your channel. So it's there. Wanderlust Homestead's at 105. I think they've moved up quite a bit. When we were at the Greater Appalachian Homestead Convention, I don't think they were that on that channel. I don't think they were over by about 30. Marion Dunn, how are you? Cool. We're 81 in the house with 60 thumbs up, so thank you. Hey, two wild onions, I am what you get. You'll realize that. I'm coming to you guys too. We're going to do some firearms training. We're going to come up there and actually run you through. I'm going to make that gun quit biting your hand when you're shooting it. I can remedy that for you pretty quick. Suzette Mooks, hello. Michael P, how are you? Doing good, Chris. Thanks for asking. Hey, I'm glad you're doing wonderful. So yeah, I mean, we're not, like I said, we're not a sub for sub channel by any means, but we do like to support each other. Country Homestead Preacher, thank you for coming in, guys. There's a real preacher. I've not been to his church, but I've met the man. So those are the type of men we need in our church, and the type of men we need leading our communities and our children. So get on it. Get on it. I'm hoping that all of you went out last week and tried to jump out of your comfort zone and go into a community or into a place where you normally wouldn't go, and sit down and just have a good conversation about life with a neighbor that needed someone to talk to maybe for the day. Yeah. Yeah, I've been getting Max Happy Homestead. I've been getting unsubs from some channels. I try to make sure I'm getting through there on a cycle to get things done. Yeah. Let's see. TNR is the answer. I'm still trying to understand this homesteading term. I said too many channels, but many are new couples trying to learn. While what they are doing has just been my way of life to survive. Hey, TNR, understood. We call it Appalachian living or mountain living around here, but it's traditional living. Most what people are trying to do here is step it back 100 or so years, provide their own food to their family, like you probably have been doing, TNR. What we've been doing my whole life as a family, and what we've been doing, why we call our stuff homesteaders, is we've really taken it back and I've shrank it. And I think that's the modern term. Goss Media Homestead, hey, how are you? Um, Shrinking my homestead down to a smaller piece of property. We're on less than 2 acres and providing what we need here. I feel like this last 2 weeks I've been eating at, we have a beautiful little restaurant called Maple Grove that does country cooking. And I feel like I've eaten more out down there this last 2 weeks than I've had anywhere else. So exactly, busy little house, a shrink wrapped homestead. Bring it in, make it a little, for in our case, make it a little bit smaller. And, you know, it's awesome. It's awesome to see what you can do on a small piece of property if you manage it in the correct way. So I'm going to break my glasses out here and get ready so you guys can get ready. We got about 5 minutes before we swim upstream. How are you doing? Uh, yeah, the Maple Grove is good, Redheaded Hunter. Um, Papa Trucker Prepsteader, how are you? Gentry Homestead, we still got new people coming in, so that's awesome. We got about 5 minutes before we jump into some scripture. Don't run away. If you're not a believer, don't run away. I ain't gonna beat you over the head with a Bible. Uh, Turn a light on, Chris. Is it pretty dark for you guys? I thought it was pretty good tonight. Am I dark for you guys? How about if I sit more like this? Looks good, looks good, looks good. Buffering a little bit. That's because I was close, Georgiana. Maxine Vade. Yes. You guys got to remember, if you're new to the channel, this is we're off grid. So this light and this computer right now are running off of a small solar generator that I have. Face the wall. I can move this light a little bit closer. Let me see if I can do that. Let's see. Well, that doesn't look like it helped much either, did it? Let me figure something out here. Okay. That's about as good as we're going to get. I will lean forward a little bit while I'm reading scripture. Hey, Searching Sabrina, how are you? So, another thing for all of you new people that are on here, I want to explain something to you. This is not a rule book. This is the Holy Bible. This means something different to me every time I pick it up in my hands. It means something different to me every time I read a passage from it. And I'm reading the passages that I'm going to read tonight, and then I tell you about them. I'm reading them for a purpose, because I think there's some of those things that we've kind of gotten away from, and how can I say, we've allowed ourselves to be led by modern society away from certain things and its interpretation. I'm going to use this because I think some people interpret this scripture wrongly for what it's saying, in my opinion. And this is all my opinion. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a minister. The country preacher Homestead is. So I appreciate and welcome his information. Barefoot Chickens, welcome. Also, for you guys that are new on here that have never watched a live, I read scripture. I read scripture with severe dyslexia. I say that not asking for sympathy or anything else. The Lord leads me to read to you guys every week, and I've been trying to do that to the best of my ability. And when I do that, sometimes it comes out great, and other times it comes pretty well hard for me to get out just because I get tongue tied. Mary Hart, hey, how are you? So we try to do an awesome job. Thank you, Fairy Tale Creation. But now I got to get to enough light so I can actually read this. So what we're going to read tonight is Jeremiah 10. And I'm going to read Jeremiah 10, chapter 10, and we're going to go all the way through verse 10. Okay? And then we'll get into talking about it a little bit. We'll talk about scripture and about the Lord for, 15, 20, 30 minutes, however long we get going on. And then we'll jump into some subjects. So we got about a minute. Usually I do that about 15 after 10. And we'll see where we're at, and get us going. And I got to kind of lean crazy today while I read because of the way my light is. So here we go. Jeremiah 10, verse 1 through 10. And it says, "Hear what the Lord says to you, people of Israel. This is what the Lord says. Do not learn the ways of the nation, or be terrified by the signs in the heavens, though the nations are terrified by them. For the practices of the people are worthless. They cut a tree out of the forest, and a craftsman shapes them with his chisel. They adorn with silver and gold. They fasten it with hammers and nails, so it will not totter. Like a scarecrow in a cucumber field, their idols cannot speak. They must be carried because they cannot walk. Do not fear them. They can do no harm, nor can they do any good. No one is like the Lord. You are great, and your name is mighty in power. Who should not fear you, King of the nations? This is your due. Among all the wise leaders of the nation and in all kingdoms, there is no one like you. They are the senseless and foolish. They are taught by the worthless wooden idols. Hammered silver is brought from and I can't get these names right, guys. Sorry, Prussia, and gold from Euphas. What the craftsman and goldsmith have made is then dressed in blue and purple, all made by skilled workers. But the Lord is the true God. He is the living God, the eternal King. Now, let me take this off. I hope that came through loud and clear. And now we're going to talk about it. Okay? So, I know it's a weird time of year to be talking about Christmas and stuff, but someone brought that to my attention, and I've got two different theories on this. Oh, hey, Mama on the budget. How are you? So we were talking about Christmas, and we were talking about when it is. Hey, Colton, how are you? Love you, and Carly. My nephew and niece are on. That's Colton 5546. Okay, so we were talking about Christmas. We were talking about when it's celebrated. That it's not correct. It's not biblically correct to celebrate Christmas. But someone brought back out that, that don't be like a heathen and go grab a tree from the woods and decorate it in silver and gold. And they use that. Well, there's the verse, guys. There's the chapter verse from 1 to 10, the whole situation on it. And it's not talking about Christmas. They use that verse, and this is what drives me crazy about modern Christianity, is they go to the Bible, they pull one little section out, and they go, I'm going to use this to my advantage. And it's not. Hey, Other Life, you're in Los Angeles. Wow. And I'm going to stop watching this so I can finish my conversation. And they use these things, and it's there. I don't disagree. Christmas should not be celebrated in December. God was born during the summer, probably late August, early September. From everything, if you look back through when Caesar made the calendars and changed everything up, and the gaining of the 11 minutes per year. If you look at everything and follow it back biblically to when it was, it puts him being born at that time. Easter, Easter can be shown to be not about the resurrection of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, but about the sun god, Esther. If you go back and you look through these things and look at them for the truth of what it is and read the Bible, I don't think we do ourselves justice in celebrating in the way that we do. But if you're celebrating in the proper manner, it's there. If you're not doing it for gifts and those things, you're a different way. But what I think these chapters are telling you to do is give up all those things. And today in modern society, what we're taking is that craftsman going out and cutting that tree out of the woods and coming back and hewing it into a statue or a totem. And you're going through all that stuff. And you're decorating with silver and gold and you're offering it up, is no different than our modern day dependency on going out and having to have the new car, having to have the big, nice, fancy house, having to be able to go through life with the best of the best, and it's there. The busy little house. I love your comment. God knows the true heart. I agree with that. But God tells us very specifically on what we need to do in life. There's no wiggle room in it. Like I said, this is a guidebook. It is not a rule book. But at the same time, there's some very specific things that he wants us to do. And I would suggest that everybody go back and read the first 5 books of the Bible. Go back and read through those and see our guide and where we're supposed to be at. You don't need to chase the Joneses. You don't need to go out here and try to have the best of the best. And I've been there, guys. Trust me. It's a hard thing to stomach sometimes. I enjoy Christmas, but I don't enjoy it for the celebration of Christ. I enjoy it as a holiday that it is. I celebrate Christ's birth and death every single day. And some people that I know don't understand that. We should celebrate and give gifts of thanks and honor and praise on an everyday basis. And then if we want to give gifts and have fun and do that, don't do them underneath the facade of you're doing it for God. Do it underneath the truth and the reality that you want to buy gifts and shower your family. And yeah, fairy tale creation, a good basic instruction before leaving this earth. And listen, here's something else that I think I need to go in here, and I may be coming off a little bit on a different tangent, but guys, you need to be living the best life you can right here, right now. You need to be living the best life you can. Don't be living to go to heaven. Know that you're going to heaven. But he wants you to live the best life on earth that you can. And if you're being ashamed of yourself and your religion and the way that you are, and you're walking backwards and you're turning your head and you're not going to the bar and you're not talking to people on the street and you're not saying hello and you're not saying goodbye and you're not giving love and praise like we do here on this computer every day in your life, when you see people, you ain't living. You're struggling to survive, but you're not living. So, I think that those are some of the things that we've lost in this modern day society and religion that we're calling Christianity. And I know I hurt some of y'all's feelings when I say that, and I don't mean to, but I want you to wake up. I want you to walk into your church. I want you to be that fresh breath air. I want you to be that one that's in there having a decent conversation. You don't have to beat anybody up. The Bible talks about, people preaching for profit and things of this nature. And God says, hey, or Jesus says, hey, as long as they're putting out the word, I think it was Scott over at Hidden Valley Homestead was telling us, as long as you're putting out the word and they're putting out the word, the word is what it is. It's not how the words are being put out. But, I have an issue with that sometimes too. Preaching for profit isn't a thing. I'm not here preaching for profit. I like that I make money off of YouTube now. I like that I'm doing that. I'm not making big bucks. I mean, You know, maybe $3 or $4 a day, but $3 or $4 a day is there. So it helps. But I'm not doing this part of it for any type of monetary gain. So anyway, we're about 25 minutes into this. We've been going. Does anybody have any questions or anything of that nature? Yeah, walk with Yahweh. I appreciate that one. Yeah. So I'm going to read some comments and look and see what I can see. Remember, put your comments in all caps, guys, or I kind of look over them. Not that I don't want to look at your comments, but it's hard for me to keep up as fast as they're going with, 100 and so people on here. So, American Patriot, hey, how are you guys? Every day is the Lord's day. Mama on a budget. Don't forget the thumbs up, guys. Thank you. YouTube money can help buy more seeds. Yeah, well, we've got a new plan for YouTube money, hopefully, and that's where we'll go next after this. Even though we just talked about not making money and not doing this for profit, but Church of Christ here and not ashamed of it. Good to go. I know we've got some. From, if I'm not mistaken, we have some individuals on here that are Masonic Jewish individuals. Do you homeschool? Just curious. Yes, Mama on a budget. We do homeschool. We do. This year's been kindergarten year. She's pretty much done the kindergarten book, so we've been a little bit lax on stuff. But every day's a teaching day, and she probably knows some stuff that seniors in high school doesn't know. Deborah Boyles, hey neighbor, how are you? Good to see you back in here. We are the church. Yes, we are. Thank you, Georgia Malone. He has given us a lot. Shawnee Kevin, thank you for you loving your daughter with fierceness. Help keep her strong. Yes, I love her. We were talking about that today while we were sitting at the pond of fishing. How much that I loved her. All right, so I'm going to do a couple shout outs right now. And you'll understand why I'm going to do those shout outs. We got some gifts this week. First one I'm going to shout out is Georgia Malone. I'd like to thank you and Tom. I think it's Tom is your husband and your daughters. They sent ELYN a beautiful package. I mean, gosh, there was probably 7 or 8 brand new outfits in there. She loves the hoodie. She hasn't taken it off, I don't think, in 2 days. So Miss Georgiana Malone, thank you very, very much for that. She loved it. The Barbie doll's not been put down either. So thank you for doing that. You guys, she loves getting the stuff. So we go and we play this game every day when we go to the P.O. box. She goes to the corner and hides her face. And are we going to get something? Are we going to get something? Or are we going to get Jerry mail? Our post guy, his name is Jerry. And if he sees her coming in, he'll go put his face in the P.O. box and we get Jerry mail, especially if there's a yellow tag in there that we've got a package. So that's awesome. She loves to do that. The second one that I'd like to give a shout out to is Miss Olivia and Scott over at Hidden Valley Homestead. They sent us some amazing stuff. I'm going to show you in a second. One of them you've already seen, and I need a drink anyway, is the off-grid coffee mugs. There you go. That looks pretty good. Can you guys see that pretty good? Now, I don't know Olivia post on here or Scott on here. I don't know if Olivia is going to sell these off-grid, hashtag off-grid coffee cups. But I talked her into selling me 2 of them. I'm sure you could too. They are awesome. They are heavy duty, good to go. So you guys did excellent on the clothes too, Georgiana Malone. Was I right on your husband's name, being Tom? So Olivia is selling the coffee mugs. I'm not sure exactly on the price. Scott, if you want to throw a price up there, you guys can go over to Hidden Valley Homestead, and I'm sure you can get something ordered up through there. But they sent her, ELYN, this beautiful plaque. And I don't know if Scott's got the talent to make this wooden stuff, or if he had Olivia do it. Sorry, Scott, I'm just picking. But this one says ELYN, and it's got these beautiful like paper mache flowers on there. And I don't know, Olivia, if you made those by hand or not, but she loves it. We've already put it on her door. I had to go up there and sneak it off tonight because she wouldn't let me take it off before she went to sleep. So Olivia made these frames and stuff too, Scott. That's awesome. She did a great job. Now, I wished I could remember who sent this to me. And if it's you, Olivia, you are awesome. You really, truly are awesome. I can't remember who exactly sent this quote to me. Someone said this when we were going through the HOA stuff. I said I've been on the mountain praying and all this, to God to help us out with everything and asking God to help us with the HOA problems that we had. And someone sent me a message that simply said, "Don't tell God about the mountain. Tell the mountain about God." So I said that to Scott one day, and this is what Miss Olivia came back with. "Don't tell God about the mountain. Tell the mountain about the God." So to me, that's awesome. That's going to end up sitting back here, guys, behind me for these lives and stuff. I love it. Thank you guys very much. Um, you know, those are the things that are payment for what we do and the hard work that we do is when you guys send that stuff. When you meet up with people like Mims's Garden, Anna, and Fairy Tale Creations with Jen, and they shower you with love and your daughter with gifts, it's amazing. Hey, use it, Kirsty, because that one's a good one. Use that in your life every day. Remember, God already knows what's going on. It's His plan. He already knows everything that's happening. So if you will just simply tell whatever your problem is about God, it's going to help you more than telling God about your problem. So anyway, now I'm going to ask you guys to do me a favor for the next couple of weeks. And I know I've said this on a couple of videos, but I'm going to tell you why now. Okay. So if you can, and I understand that some of these, oh, snap, I forgot. I also need to say thank you to Four Blessings Farms. Also, Four Blessings Farms did a t-shirt sale, and whatever profits that they made from that t-shirt sale, they sent us to help with the HOA stuff, and that was awesome that that they did that. They sent us a PayPal the other day, and every penny helps, and it is all going to replenish the money that we had to use for the lawyer fees. So thank you guys for Jen and Ed from Four Blessings Four Blessings Farm. You guys rock. I appreciate that. Did I see that Kirsty is going to speak at the Louisiana little get together? Did I see that? That's awesome if that's what it is. So thank you to those guys that are going over there and helping out with those guys and stuff. So here, this is what I'm going to ask you guys to do before too many people jump off here. Hopefully we'll get that surge. We usually get a surge about an hour in, and it goes up to like 150 on here, so that's good. You're still trying to prepare something? Okay, get it going. You better do that, Kirsty. You'll enjoy that. You can get something together, girl. Just go pull one piece of information out of each one of your videos and talk about it. You'll be fine. So here's what I want to ask you. I've asked you guys to watch the ads as they come on, or the ads that's the only ads I think that they're doing for us right now. Maybe the pop-up on them, but to watch at least one of them. I know some of them are like 5 and 6 minutes long. If they're that long, skip them. I would too. Let them get to skip, count to 20, and skip them on. But the reason that I'm asking you to do that is if you want to see more videos, we're going to need to watch those. And the reason I need you to watch those is the camera that the other life gave us is amazing. It's awesome, but I can't get the hang of it. I'm making videos and doing stuff on there, but it's it's not, I can't keep the battery charged for one thing, and I bought a brand new battery. So I can't get a hold of it. So I'm going to have to go purchase a new camera. And that's going to be shortly. I'm going to continue to make videos on the one that I have. But if you notice, I'm usually like this is the frame, and I'm over here because I can't figure out how to work and manipulate the camera correctly to do that. Lundy say, hey, hi back to you, brother. So if you don't know what happened to my camera, I went to Big Bear Homestead last weekend. I went down to South Carolina, which I'll give you guys an update on in a few minutes. I went to South Carolina to get some stuff done on on my house that I have for sale down there, and got down there, realized we were only an hour away from Big Bear, so we set it up where we were going to do a live together. We did the live, and I was talking to him on the phone, and he said he sent me a picture of this open campfire and this fire pit that they have that they cook on. He says, I hope you don't mind a meal cooked on here. And I said, absolutely, would be amazing. So I took and I said, I'll bring some fresh trout. And I went fishing, and we got down to a hole. I took my buddy Kevin, and somehow a stick got hit and the camera toppled over and went to the bottom of the waterfall. And I ended up stripping off down to what the good Lord gave me and jumping into this ice cold water at about 10 feet and hope not get sucked over another 30-foot fall, and retrieved it. So that's where we're where we're at with the camera, and it's dried out, but it's not working. So okay. So anyway, that's I don't know. We got some trolls coming through. I didn't. Heavy's art channel. I don't know what's going on. Mims, you got that one. Check it out. So thank you. So yeah, so we lost we lost the camera that we really are used to. So yep. Mims just sent up the correspondence. If you want to get a hold of me by email, you can do that. I've got a P.O. box that you can send stuff to if you need to. If you want to send me a letter or something, I enjoy getting those. So lots of fun. Oh boy, yeah, get them, get them, get them, get them. Hey, thanks, Busy Little House. You're getting better at this. I love it. So anyway, so that's where we're at. So now let's get into subjects for tonight. I asked on the last one when we did it with Big Bear for everybody to, or for an individual to make suggestion. And I know canning came up, and I know that security issues came up. So we're going to talk a little bit about both of those. No one ever finally made a decision. So we're going to go from there. I'm going to go ahead right now, and I'm going to say, consider it joy, Homestead. Would you guys like to pick scripture for us next week? And if you would, I would very much appreciate you sending me an email, say by Wednesday, or by Wednesday, by Tuesday of next week, so that I can, when we can do that. Yeah, I'm hoping that that wasn't toward my kids. I would have probably been a little upset. But anyway, if you don't mind, consider it joy, Homestead, to pick the scripture next week. And let's see, I'll find somebody else to do our, hey, Searching Sabrina, do you want to pick our subject for next week? And you can do that right here on this live. Think about it as we're talking. If you can choose our subject, Searching Sabrina, for next week, before you get off of here, that would be great to get you to do that. If I can catch you before you got off of here, and do that. I'm repeating myself a lot tonight. Thanks, consider it joy. I appreciate that. All right. So let's start off with some security questions. Georgiana Malone, I have a burning question about your off-grid, Chris, if you can. Okay, well, let's start with that. Go ahead, Hidden Valley. Go ahead, Scott. Keto Michelle, hey, how are you? We're going to see what his burning question. is, and then we'll get into what we're doing. Searching Sabrina, that is one of the most important commandments. Can you pick scripture or goodness gracious? Consider it joy is doing scripture. Can you choose a subject for next week on what we can discuss, please? If you don't want to, that's fine. You were on grid and then went off grid. What did you do about the city power? I never have been on city power. We have a gated, like the community, we have a main gate and it's actually on my property. So what I was doing was using the power from the gate, which belongs to the individual that put this area in this little, I guess, subdivision, if you want to call it that, for lack of better words. And I was using it off of that and then paying him so much a month to do that, because all I was using it for was to run the TV, really. So we've always been semi off grid. I say 85% off grid at that time. Now we're all the way there. Oil lamps and the solar generator. So I hope that answers your question. All right, so good to go, and it's building. So I actually got the opportunity to see one of the windmills that I've been talking about in progress. And the only reason I had held off on that was because of the noise. I thought it was going to be noisy. So I think that's going to be the quickest, easiest, cheapest way for me to put some more power onto the house. And then we're going to go with 2 more solar panels because I already have everything. And then we're going to order the power spout water turbine system to run on the creek. All right, Georgiana Malone, are you still in the house? Let's see you come up here. If you're here, comment, give me a thumbs up, do something like that. Any time frame for your hydro? Within the next 12 months on the hydro. I recommend the 260 or 270 watt Renogy mono or poly, either one. They're actually, if you get into both of them, they're pretty good. Oh, good. I hope J Love Adventure. I hope that it works for you as good as it has for me. She says she's on the 4th day of trying kombucha. So AirX are good. I've looked at those, but the Missouri Wind and Power Company, I know they've got some bad stuff because they don't like to be nice to people. I'm not sure. Sorry, my brain is tired. You don't have to do it right now. That's fine, Sabrina. I can pick someone else. Think about something, and I'll let you pick for next week. So we'll do it that way. Geek Gardens, how are you, Geeky Gardens? So that's kind of the time frame there. Did I see Georgiana Malone? I don't really want to get into that conversation if she's not in here. I'll be right back. I hope you all are still here. Getting started on the homestead. I think you'll be fine for a little while. We're not even an hour in. And knowing how these go, it's crazy. And I'm loving it. Georgiana, you're saying I'm buffering. Okay, I got you some poison ivy remedies. We can talk about that in a minute. But we're going to talk about security issues. If I'm not mistaken, you were talking about that your daughter's apartments had some robberies and that she heard a lady screaming and somebody had stole her backpack and broke her shoulder. Is that correct, Georgiana? So what I'm going to tell you about that is, first of all, you have to be conscious about what you're doing, especially when you're looking down long hallways and things of that nature. You're walking to your car, you're going on. Never be doing this, which is nowadays, because if I'm a bad guy, I'm taking complete advantage of that. You're not paying attention. So whenever you're walking, male or female, put your phone in your back porch, especially if it's getting dark or right before dark. Put your phone in your back pocket. Pay attention. Have your head on a swivel. Make eye contact. A lot of people don't like to do that. So just look at each individual as you're walking. Don't have to acknowledge them, but when they see you looking at them, It's a subconscious thing. This person is being vigilant. They're being there. They're knowing that what's around them. So you're less of a target that way. Sweet baby Sheebies, how are you tonight? I'm glad to see you made it on. So Hamiltonville Farms, hey. When you're doing that, walk with a purpose, walk with your head on a swivel, walk where you're seeing stuff. Now, Georgiana, I know you were talking about that and I was watching. See, I watched the chat before we go live and kind of see and kind of pick up some stuff. If I miss you and you're new coming in here, I apologize. So keeping your head on a swivel. If you're looking at being home defense in your house, I saw some comments on there about hornet spray, about CS gas, about different types of ways that you can protect your home. Here's what I'm going to tell you about some of those things that you were just talking about. If you have children in your house, you don't want to use CS. You don't want to use pepper spray. You don't want to use paintballs with pepper spray. You don't want to do any of that stuff. You're probably going to throw your child into an asthmatic attack by using any of those. If you're not used to getting sprayed with CS, if you're not used to getting sprayed with pepper spray, and you don't know how to use those things, you're going to put yourself in more danger than you are by not. What I do suggest you do is go find a good firearms instructor, go get trained on being a firearm. And if someone comes into your home, you don't do something to make them get out. You do something to keep them right there where they're at, and that's the end of the story. I know that sounds bad, but an evil person is an evil person. And I know that sounds very blunt. We've had these kind of conversations before. You're not trying to be happy and go, oh, get out of my house, and spraying stuff that's going to put you into a bad situation. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you spray me with pepper spray or CS gas, and with the military and the law enforcement training that I have, guess what? I'm going to get you. I'm coming. I'm still there. And guess what? There's bad people with just the amount of training that I have. So you want to be active and proactive, not defensive in a manner of security. You don't want to be into a position where you're there. If your daughter's afraid to do stuff like that, you when you're using a firearm, you got to know what kind of firearm to use in a house. People go, oh, I'm going to go buy a 9mm. I'm going to go buy this, that, and other. A 9mm is a decent choice for a home defense situation if you're carrying the correct ammo. The best weapon that you can have in a home defense situation inside your home is a good shotgun. And for most ladies, I say a 20 gauge shotgun with low brass with number 6 shot birdshot. At 20 yards, number 6 shot birdshot is going to kill somebody, but it's not going to penetrate a wall. It's not going to, and if it does get penetration through a wall, it's not going to hurt or more than sting somebody on the other side. So, when you go through that and you start looking at those choices, AR-15s are not good for home defense. Rifles are not good for home defense. The Judge pistol that shoots 410 shotgun shells, it's good if you're using the right ammo. Once again, when you start looking at that stuff, hey, Overlook Valley Homestead, have a great day at work and be safe. When you start looking at that stuff, Sunny Preps, hey, how are you? Good that you made it. Thank you. Now I can give you a personal testimony on the 410. 410 inside of a home on my size. I watched my grandfather, or I didn't. My cousin, Chris, I have a cousin named Chris too, was there. We showed up just right after it. But my grandfather shot an uncle that was intoxicated straight in the face at 10 yards with a 410 shotgun, and the man took the gun away from him. 410 shotgun to the face. It's not a lot of power, guys, when you're talking about that. I suggest that you go with the 20 gauge number 6 shot birdshot. Low brass. You can ask at the gun store and stuff. Forgiven and blessed. Hey, how are you? So we're going to look at that. If you have children in the home, if there's nobody, if you're a single person in the house and you don't live in an apartment building, you can get away with carrying a pistol in 357, the 38, 380. That's another round that's pretty good for home defense. But still, your ultimate gun for home defense is going to be a shotgun. Yep. So you always want to look at that and go from that angle on stuff, and you got to think outside the box, such as if I fire this firearm inside, am I going to hurt somebody in the other room? Three Baskets Living, how are you? Am I going to hurt someone in the other room? When you start talking about using CS gas, pepper spray, wasp spray, or anything else like that, if that's all you got, great, good to go. It's good. But you're going to affect everybody in that home, not just the bad guy. J Love Adventures. What about a 9mm? They say. My guns have baby. My guns have baby guns too, Chris. Okay, so J Love Adventure. A 9mm is a great home defense pistol. You want to carry. You don't want to have ball ammunition in there. Everybody thinks ball ammunition is actually made for target practice. Ball ammunition is made to kill people. Ball ammunition is made to penetrate. It's made to punch through car doors. It's made to punch through walls and stuff. You're actually better off carrying some type of frangible or hollow point Hornady round, something like that, because when it hits the wall, it's going to fragment out, which is what you're looking for self-defense on the human body, is it's going to fragment out. But in a home situation, if I happen to shoot through a wall, it's going to fragment out, slow that round going through. So you want to carry something of that nature, a different type of ammo. When I carry my carry weapon, I carry a 357 SIG 226. When I carry that weapon, I actually carry different ammunition in each magazine. And the reason I do that is I know from training what's in that magazine. My first round in that magazine, the one that's going to be in the pipe or in the chamber, is an actual ball ammo. And the reason for that is I want to hit first, and then the second two rounds are going to be followed up with frangible. The Hornady is what I like, and I like Gold Dot. When it hits, I want that explosion on those second rounds. But I know that on that fourth shot, if they're in an open or I have people that are surrounding me, I can shoot the ground or I can shoot into something safe, then come back and engage with those two hollow point rounds. But if they're ducked behind a car door now and they're behind there, I can shoot the car door and I'm going to get somewhat penetration with the ball ammo. So, it's good to go. McMillan, Chris, and I think Four Blessings Farm, both are mentioning the 45 ACP. Another good choice in home defense with the right type of ammunition. Once again, 45 ACP is a slow moving round with a large mass. It's like being hit with a softball versus being hit with a ping pong ball. I'm going to knock you down with a softball. I'm going to hurt you throwing and hitting you with a golf ball. So that's kind of a way to look at that. You're looking at a ball this size and a ball this size hitting you. One's going to add more trauma when the other one's going to have more energy and force to knock through you. Gosh, Mania, 410s are great. The thing is, in a home defense situation, you've got to look at some different things. And like I said, a man my size, if you just got birdshot in a 410 or something like that, a man my size has got a good chance, not a great chance, but a good chance to fight through that and see where you're at. So, but I really do recommend for women 20 gauge, 12 gauge if you're good at shooting and you don't mind the recoil, with low brass number 6, or a 12 gauge the same way. Hey, Mary Hart, thank you for coming on. Good night. Sleep well. A 410 slug is another good choice when you're looking at that, because the energy that it's going to have is going to slow down quite a bit. So I appreciate it. Yeah, I think a 12 gauge for all around. If you only can have one gun for everything, not just a homestead gun, but an everything gun, large game, for hunting and trapping, for tell people to stay away from smaller calibers. Those Yeah, a lot of smaller calibers. The 380 is coming a long way because of the ammunition, not the caliber. But small caliber guns, 25s, things like that, are not really good. I carry a 22 Magnum, but a 22 Magnum is a beast of a round. It is a kill you round, not a get off me round to get to a bigger gun. The only other I have is a 22 long rifle shotgun, but we will look for a 20 gauge. You can buy a cheap single shot 20 gauge to keep at your house at Walmart for less than $100. Gossmania. I think they at Christmas time they're like $79 for a single shot H&R, 12 gauge or 20 gauge. They're not big, and a 20 gauge with a slug is a great pig gun if you're not trying to eat the brain. If you're not trying to get the brains to eat. So Hardneck Farm, hey, how are you? Yeah, Katie Leach, I agree with you on that one. So, but that's just some food for thought. Be aware, keep your head on a swivel, make sure that you whatever you're going to use as protection inside your home, you are trained at and you're good at. If you're going to say, okay, I'm going to be that person that's going to use CS gas, or I'm going to use pepper spray, or I'm going to use the wasp spray, make sure that you're trained with it. And there are places in your state that you can go. You can't carry certain pepper spray and CS gas in most states. It only can be a certain percentage, and that's like going as a breath mint to people like myself. Um, I had when we went through our law enforcement training for the federal government, for the federal job that I held as an air marshal. We went this line. They sprayed us across the forehead, and we had to fight through three people and take down the last individual at the back. And they said, "Okay, this is what you need to do." And I'm like, are you sure that's what I need to do? And they were like, yeah. So he sprayed me. I swept the legs on the first guy, groined the other guy, and was at the other guy in like 10 seconds. I'm like, now get this out of my eyes. And they were like, because I'd been sprayed with it so many times. Keep head on a swivel. This is what means keeping your head on a swivel. When you're walking, don't be looking at your phone. Look straight up, walk shoulders squared, walk with a purpose, walk like you know that you're okay, like you're supposed to be where you're at. And that's keeping your head on a swivel. You're always watching yourself. You're walking. When you're walking up to the car, you're looking in the back seat of your car. You're looking under your car as you walk up. You're looking around your car. So when you get in, there's nobody that can hurt you. Being aware, covering your own six, which means covering your rear back here, and keeping your head on a swivel. That's my biggest advice to anybody. Walk like you have purpose. If you walk like you have purpose, most bad people aren't going to bother you. Young kids and thugs, they'll call you out sometimes. But guess what? Walk with you like you have purpose, and they usually won't. So, what would you recommend for a woman or teens not at home, especially teen women? They sell a really awesome little tool, and you can get away with it in most of your schools. And it's called the Black Cat, and it's a little kitty cat that's about this big around, and the eyeballs are cut out of it. But each ear is a blade, and you run your fingers in it just like you're taught about keeping your keys between your fingers as a lady and be able to use that as a weapon. This goes on your key ring, and you just slip it in there. And as you're walking, you just walk with it like that. Like I said, shoulders squared back, eyes open. You're doing what you're supposed to do, but you've got even with the punch of a small female that doesn't know how to strike, if they can learn how to do that one punch, you're adding a 2.5 inch spike that you can just boom. And do what you need to do. So I really like that one for young people. That can do there. They can keep it in their backpack, stuff like that. It's still a weapon, so they can get in trouble for it. Teach your kids how to not be stupid and have stuff out and showing it off all the way. So that would be my number one. Go find in your area, go find an NRA instructor that knows the refuse to be a victim class. Go with it, especially if you have young women and men that are going off to college. That is a great class because it teaches you about the head on a swivel, covering your six, home security, how to keep things around your house from being there. You're going to learn something as a parent, and your children are going to learn a whole lot when they go off to college. Um, Yeah, metal Wildcat Hollow Farms. Carrying a solid barrel, one of the zebra ink pens is awesome. Once again, knowing how to strike with that and how to hold it so that you don't hurt yourself is a big thing. Yeah, but for Blessings Farms, that's great. But once again, I'm having to get hands on before I can use that stuff. So with that, going through some training, having her go take some basic Hamiltonville Farms. Good night. Being able to carry something that's there. Um, if you guys want to have some of this stuff, I want to make a suggestion to you guys. If you want to have some of this stuff, like a I don't want to say home defense, but let's say basic security for homesteaders, because we live in the country, because we do some stuff like that. Hit up HOA and stuff. Hit up some of these bigger conferences and say, hey, we would like Chris to come out and teach this class, teach a basic stuff. I would love to go out and teach that for the homesteader on that side of things. It's like I'm going to be at the Stivers and I'm going to be teaching the North Star Prep Center. Hey, how are you? Um, Teaching a basic gun safety course at the Stivers Get Up. So I'm hoping that everybody goes, will come over and see us, and we're going to go through that and get those things taught up. But I really think that's one of the places we lack in the homesteading community is firearms on the homestead and security on the homestead, because most of us think that we're good old strong country people and that nobody's going to come get us, when actually it's totally the opposite. You live way out in the country. If they're real bad guys and they're on the run, they're going to the country to hide out. This area right here is where you had the abortion clinic bomber. He came out and he hid in these Appalachian mountains for, I think it was almost a year. This guy ran around and stayed in campgrounds and stuff in this area. So yeah, but if you want to do that, hit them up, send a letter to them, let them know how to do that. Have the right to protect kids. Yeah, well, if you go back and you watch Kathy, if you watch any of my videos where I've done the basic firearms classes, I actually listed that basic firearms class, and YouTube went back, reviewed it, watched it, and monetized that, which is very, very, very rare. That uh, Very rare that YouTube monetizes a gun video. But I think the reason they did that is because I actually push that video to people that hate firearms, that people that don't want to ever own a firearm, don't ever want to shoot a firearm, don't want to handle a firearm. And what I tried to do is push that to those type of people. Even though most of us are okay with firearms and understand they're a tool, those people hate them so much they don't want anything to do with it. But if their kid walks out of somebody's house, God forbid I leave a firearm out and I've not already told that child or prepared that adult for that, and I'm not around or something, and they have a firearm in their hand, that parent that hates guns needs to at least know the basic responsibilities and basic firearm skills to calmly get that weapon away, to make that firearm safe, and then to put it in a position. And like I say every time I have this conversation, and then how to whoop the crap out of the individual that left a loaded weapon laying around. So I think that's absolutely what they need to do. On borrowed time homesteading. Hey, how are you? But I think that's some of the suburban hillbilly. How are you? I'm catching some names that I hadn't seen yet. So I think those are some things that we are lacking in the community. So, you know, you got to look at those. You got to train. It's just like growing your garden, guys. You go out, you learn the best ways to sow your um, weed whacking all day, hit the bed. Hey, good night, busy little house. I thank you. We had this conversation the other day. It's hard to hit them all and do everything that you need to do. God bless you and love you kids, and give them all a big hug for me tomorrow. And I can't wait to see you next live. Send me a personal email before you go live again. So um, so yeah, so you learn the best way to plant your tomatoes. You learn the best way um, to plant your garden in whatever manner that it may be. But we don't take the time to learn the tools and the things of that nature that can save your life, put food on the table. I told somebody the other day, it was on the two wild onions. Right there you are. Two Wild Onions live the other night. They're talking about they've been homesteading for 30 plus years, and they're at that point now where they're trying to make the choice up that I think they're going to homestead at some point. Awesome. I'll see you there, Overlook Valley Homestead. I'm hoping that you'll make it. But they're trying to come up with that point of, do they want to retire onto a homestead that they've been doing for 30 years, or do they want to scale it down, still have a homestead, but maybe not raise all their meat and stuff? And what I said to them was, look, this was my comment that I made on their live the other night. If it takes me, let's say, $2,500 a year to raise all the meat and stuff for my family, okay? And that's not an overstretch, guys. If you sit and figure up your feed bill, your water bill, your fencing repairs, your fencing cost of putting it in, and everything else, you're probably at $1,500 to $2,000 if you're eating all your own meat. You can go take a vacation at that time. He likes to hunt and fish and stuff, and you can go on different hunting trips that you're pretty well guaranteed. But like for a cow elk, you can buy over-the-counter cow elk tags in most major elk country for $1,500 to $2,000, and that's getting in there and doing everything you need to do. And now I've got 400 or 500 pounds worth of meat, and I've got the same amount that I did the other, but I have none of the upkeep and the ability to do not the ability, but the upkeep and responsibility for that animal. So it's a means of being able to provide. And if you are homesteading and you are raising your own meat and you have the ability, Piney Night Farm, Family Farm, thank you for coming in and good night. But if you are living in an area where you can hunt, it's worth the time to learn to hunt, your wife to learn to hunt, because now you're doubling up your chances to go out and do that. Because, for instance, you're not going to be successful every year, but if I can go out this year and I can harvest, like we have the opportunity right now, myself and two other homesteaders are going out to Utah more than likely and going to go on an elk hunt. Well, if I harvest an elk, if it be a cow elk or a bull elk, that's 300 or 400 pounds of meat. If I can come back home and I can harvest 2 deer, that's another 150 pounds worth of meat. Now, I'm so far ahead of the game on the meat that if I chose to the next year, instead of putting $1,000 into a beef cow or sharing a couple of pigs with somebody, I can go buy more goats to go in my goat herd. And I can expand that because I afforded myself that opportunity by being able to hunt. So being able to do that and provide meat for you this way. If you're someone that's living in the city, now think about this. You're someone living in the city and you can't raise animals at all. Take up hunting. Take up hunting and spend the money to go out and do that, and you're saving on your meat bill. If you're in Michigan or someplace like that, you're living in a little apartment or something, go hunting. California, they've got some great hunting out there that people just don't realize. But you've got a lot of ways that you can go out and do that stuff. So hunting is there. Now, we're going to segue the hunting right into the canning. Mims's Garden, you're on here. You've been canning all week, I think. What have you been canning? Share a little bit of some upcoming videos, I hope, with everybody. But you can, the Kansas, Kentucky has an elk draw, but there's a lot of states that aren't draws that you can still buy cow tags over the counter usually. So Mims has been canning tomatoes. Where did you get tomatoes already? You ain't got tomatoes on the vine yet, have you? Enough to can, Miss Anna? If you do, that's awesome. As I have about 50 tomatoes on my plants, but none of them are blushing even yet. So James Bean said, yeah, Considerate Joy has been canning a lot too. So you can can that. You can can all your meat too, guys. You guys can can your meat. You can, you've got some vlogs on it. She's Considerate Joy's vlogged on her canning stuff. So that's going to be awesome. But you can can all your meat and stuff like that. Like, hold on a second. I'll show you. This is how I keep all my venison, all my wild game. I'll do pork this way, but that's a can that's been on the shelf for over a year. It doesn't look as great, but I'm going to tell you what. I promise you that if you're a person that doesn't like venison because you say it's gamey, I bet you I can make barbecue out of this, and I can make barbecue out of beef or pork, beef, and you won't tell the difference. So I ended up, let's see, I have 23 quart canner. To love it. I've got on my wish list that I put on there for myself to try to save up for Considerate Joy. I put the 25 quart American pressure cooker on it. So I'm hoping that I can get it bought before season goes into too much. Mama on a budget. Are you going to be at any of the HOA or the Stivers or anything like that? Please tell me yes. She hasn't gotten any yet, 3 baskets. She hasn't gotten any, but I did tell her I would send her some. Let's see. I want the American candy. I do too. It is on the top of my list. You know, I'm hoping between super chats and what we're making off the other and throwing some money in there that the camera's going to come first, and then after the camera we'll be able to jump on and afford to get that canner, because the camera and the canner are going to produce more videos and more things to come out that way. So let me see, I'm missing something. Michigan Mike, okay. I enjoy it. I hope to do soups. Yes, I love soups with canned tomatoes. I just missed one. Mama, you haven't had my venison and bacon chili before. Yeah, I'm asking. I'm going to try to change her life when it comes to venison. I'm in the panhandle of Texas, so can't go to many meetups, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I was just trying to find a place when I could feed you some venison there, Mama, on a budget. Do you can, Mama, on a budget? Do you do any canning? So if you do, I'm going to give you a recipe, and if you can get somebody that you know to give you a roast, you can cut it up into stew meat. I'm going to give you the recipe to can it, and you can can it, and then hold it for a couple of months and let it get to the point of where it needs to be, and we'll see if you change, if you're willing to try it. Hey, Silver Amethyst, how are you tonight? Good to see you back in here. So, but for anybody that wants it, for venison, my recipe for canning venison is simply 1/4 teaspoon of canning salt in the bottom, put your meat in raw, 1/4 teaspoon of canning salt on top, close up the jar, put it in the pressure cooker, 15 pounds, 45 minutes, pull it out, wrap them in blankets, give them the 48 hours, let them pop and get done, and throw them on the shelf. So that's awesome. Life with Linda, yeah, this is awesome. 104 thumbs up. Still got 85 people rolling at an hour and a half in. So it's good to go. I think we've been averaging like 128 people a night. Oh, I forgot to give you guys the update. We're at 5,156 subs as we stand right now. Before I came on is where I was at. And I think I've seen a couple of notifications that we've had a couple of people join while we've been on live. We seem to now be kind of tapering to where we're at. We're averaging about 20 to 30 a day on subs, so that's awesome. And then we're sitting at, this is the awesome part, guys. We are sitting at about 11,000 hours of viewing time, thanks to you guys. That is amazing. There's only a 5 to 10 second delay. That's awesome. So it's running pretty good. But yeah, that 10,000 hour plus view time is where it's at. That's that's amazing, because that's where you're making your channel. When people are watching, that's fulfilling to me, because if I had 1,000 subscribers and I was still pushing out and people are watching and doing what they need to do, that's awesome. On Borrowed Time Homesteading, hey, how are you? I like to see you in here. Chris, McLennan Homestead, I would love to go. I've actually had a couple of people that have reached out to me. Four Blessings has been one, about doing a fundraiser to fly me down for the night to that. That would be the only way that I could come to that one. We have Stivers coming up that I'm going to speak at, which is only 4 hours away. So I can get up in the morning, drive down, do that, spend 5 or 6 hours there, getting to love on everybody, and then drive back home, or even drive back home the next morning and be here to be able to feed animals. And then we have the Life Conference coming up in August, which we will be at. And then we're going to be going to the HOA this year too. So that's where it gets expensive to do this stuff, guys, the networking part. So for all of you guys that have channels, networking, getting on, participating on lives, being active within those lives are going to help you out tremendously. Watching other videos, letting other people know to watch you. Oh, you did honeysuckle jam, and I think peach jam too. Oh, awesome. I'll have to go watch that one. So, going to those events, it doesn't sound good to go. Thank you, Michigan Mike. When it doesn't sound like a bunch, well, let's just take Homesteaders of America. It's $55 a day, so that's $110. If ELYN was going to go, whatever it costs for a kid to get in, she's not going to that one. So $110 for just the tickets. Then, if it wasn't for the grace of Big Bear Homestead and Roots and Refuge, I'm staying with them this year at HOA, so that's awesome that I'm going to get to be with those guys. But you're looking at $300 or $400 or $500 to get a room and stuff like that, because it's in Virginia, in the area it's at. So you're looking at $500, $600 to go on one of those trips to one of those big events, which is awesome because it comes back to promoting and getting the channel out there and meeting new people and enjoying the time with you guys, which is the most important thing to me. But it just gets really expensive really quick. Who wants to donate to help get Chris to Bayou Bash? So, yeah, if you guys can come up with a way to do that, I'm more than welcome to hit any event anybody's having. Hidden Valley Homestead, I honestly was going to go out to Idaho because it's two parts for me on Idaho. I wanted to go out there. I wanted to get out there and go to enjoy those guys, because I enjoy a lot of those channels, not just Scott, but the channels that are out there. I enjoy those tremendously. When we looked at the tickets, I could have got a round trip ticket for like $379. That's not bad for going out. I already had people saying that I could stay with them and everything. That ticket within 2 days went to almost $900. I was like, holy smokes. That just wasn't going to happen. Yeah, two family. There's a perfect example. We need to get those guys to 10K. If there's anybody on here right now, which I doubt there is, that is not part of the two family homestead community, go watch everything that they do. Be there Tuesday, Thursday nights for their lives, and Friday. Go do everything. They do so much for this community. They do so much for each one of us individually that, I mean, if you're a homesteader or if you're not, they do so much for small YouTube channels on knowledge sharing and supporting and promoting us, that why they're not at 100,000 K on subscribers, I don't know. But man, oh man, oh man, they are they're deserving of it every minute of the way. Yeah, North Star Prep Steader is going to be on Two Family Homestead. Yeah, I'll have to go check that one out for sure. Video with your canned venison. Yes, they're coming, Mama, on a budget. That's coming. I've got the 2 pigs that we got back from the slaughterhouse. Those canning videos are coming as well. I'm going to do a bacon video on making bacon. I've never made bacon before, so that's going to be a neat one to do that and get it all done. But they are coming. The pork videos, I'm going to smoke off all 4 hams. I'm going to do half of it in barbecue, half of it smoked, and it's all going into jars. So you guys will be able to do that. Good night, 2 wild onions. Go eat some onions. It'll help with that runny nose. And some garlic. So it's there. Would you fly to Bash looking to see tickets now? Yes, I'll come. 4 blessings. I would come. I would love to come down there, spend some more time with Broussards, get to meet you, get to meet Kirsty. I think I'd probably steal Kirsty to the corner and we'd talk about foraging for most of the time we were there because that young lady has a wealth of knowledge. So, you know, it's there. Hey, 2 Family Homestead, what is your sub count right now? I think last time I looked, it was like 8,890 or something like that. But I would love to know that right now where you guys are sitting. So if you guys can, HDA production, what is your favorite color? My favorite color, I enjoy black for some reason. I really do, but I love dark greens. I love dark green. So Gossmania is saying that 2 Family Homestead is at 8,313. They're so close to that 10,000. Man, we need to get them to that milestone. That would be awesome. Share on your Facebook. I mean, everybody here already knows how much that 2 Family does. Share with everybody. Share. Yep, there you go. 2 Families out there. If you're not watching their information and you have a channel, you're doing yourself an injustice. Daryl has said a couple of times about reviewing the channel. I don't think my channel is a good one for him to review because I have no intentions of ever doing any real editing more than the little B-roll things that you guys see. That's not what I want to do. I was talking to Big Bear about it. He was showing me some things to do. Some of them I'll implement, put my watermark on stuff. I thought I did that tonight, but obviously it's not popping up. At least I don't see it. I never have an intention of doing any type of real editing. So, you know, I'm sure he could come up with stuff on my playlist. But Big Bear went through a bunch of stuff and looked at stuff we couldn't figure out to get certain things to happen on my channel that were already there. So, you know, that's where I'm at with that one. But I am, it's there, Single Dad Homestead. Yeah, I understand. 2 Family, I think I'm going to be on your channel, am I not? December time period. They were out for quite a while. I think Sherry sent me that. I think I'm going to be on there. Oh, you see my water. All right, awesome. Does it look good with the little waterfall on there? That's great. So that's what you were saying, 2 Family. It's there. So cool. It doesn't show it on my side, so I don't get to see. I'll have to go back and watch everything. It's tiny, but it's there. Waterfalls. Good to go. I love it. Well, yeah, the reviews are there, but I'd rather get on there and just chit chat. We can get on. I'd like to do like we're going to do in December. That's a different situation when you go on and you're doing a live with Sherry and Daryl on 2 Family Homestead. That's awesome. But to be on the wheel and get chose to go through your website, they would eat me alive on everything that I do. Because I don't do anything conventionally. Sherry has the book. I don't touch it. Hey, Daryl, that's because you're a smart man. And I love the color of your choice of shirts that you wear most of the time. I love the flesh color brown. I'm not ever making fun of you on that. I'm like, yeah, there you go. I'm a brown, yellow, or a brown, black, green kind of guy on everything that I wear usually. I got dark blue on tonight. McMillan, Chris, you guys have a good night. So we've kind of jumped around on a lot of subjects tonight. Does anybody have hey, McMillan, McLinden Homestead, before you jump out of here, if you're still here, Sabrina said she did not want to pick the subject for next week. Do you guys want to pick the subject for next week? Not the scripture, but the actual subject that we will be doing. next week. I am partly blind. If he doesn't come back, I'll pick somebody else to. Yes, 1 second. Sorry to keep you up, brother or sister, whichever one's on right now. Life with Linda. We'll talk security without guns right now. We can do that for a few minutes now because we're already doing the security thing, and I'm trying to keep from doing back to back to backs on it. Now, like you can do different size go bags and stuff like that. We could go through and do those. That'd be good to go. About $300 round trip, depending on where you leave from to Houston. I could pick you up from the airport and take you back on our way out. Sounds like a plan to me. But Tri-Cities Airport or Knoxville or even Charlotte Airport are three that I could get to fairly easy on airports. So Charlotte or Knoxville would probably be the two cheapest places to fly out. But to Houston, I think there's an Allegiant flight to Houston out of the Tri-City Airport that may be super, super cheap round trip, like literally like $100 one way. So if you're looking into it, look into it that way, and that would be awesome. Haha, you made the wheel getting started on homesteading. Yeah, it's brutal sometimes. Yeah, Charlotte's a good one. You can try and look at Allegiant and that. If I can just be me, because that would be a quick get down, get back, 1 to 2 night type thing. And we'll see what's up. Teal is up there. I think I'm in the middle of a different conversation. So, not having guns, personal defense. The cat that I was just talking about, the black cat that I was just talking about, the Life with Linda, I think is who asked that question. That is a good one to carry with you. I like little karambits. Look up karambit online, and it's a little stick about this long, and it's got two little fingers that stick out. It kind of looks like an F. Looks like this. I like them because if you have to use your hands, the thing is to go do some training. If you're wanting to use these, you prepare for someone like me. That's a bad guy though, but you prepare for your worst case scenario. That's like when I teach police officers, I tell them all the time, you're not training for the bad guy that's a bad guy. You're training for the good guy that's got lots of training that's had a bad day. Because you walk up on me and I'm in that situation and it's a bad day, you're in a really bad situation. So being able to keep yourself out of a bad situation with a well-trained uh, intelligent individual when it comes there. You're there. Good night, Gosmani. We appreciate you. Go get some sleep. You two eat some onions and some garlic. Help with that bad head cold. Two Family does more than a lot to help out everybody in the homesteading community. So if you do a live, if you do anything of that nature, if you're putting out videos, I challenge everybody on here as you do your lives, mention Two Family Homestead. They're probably already in there in the live already. If you're on Facebook and you're doing Facebook lives, if you're doing any of that stuff, go push them. Tell them if we can grab 2 or 3 people at a time, we'll get them to that 10K real quick. I would love to see that happen pretty quickly. So, Beth McClellan, thank you very much. Thank you, Overlook Valley Homestead. Yeah, I figured that out, that I just can't see it. Do you suggest training at the police department or privately? I want to be prepared. Life with Linda. I would suggest what area are you in, Life with Linda? What state and part of the state are you in? Because I may know somebody in that area that can do there. Bar Junior Farm and Ranch. Hey, how are you doing? Well, and sometimes Bar Junior Farm and Ranch, having that weapon is awesome. But once again, if you come up and something happens and you end up hands on with somebody, and you're trying to keep that weapon secure, you got to know what to do to grab that upper hand. Ozark, Missouri. Okay, so you're up there by. Are you pretty close to Doug and Stacy and them? Are you going to be at the Life Conference? Um, I really like going and becoming a part of a mixed martial arts type of a martial arts type academy, because you're going to learn a mixture of everything. And most of those schools, the mixed martial arts programs that are around, you're not going to go in there and beat yourself up. You're not going to get beat up. You're probably going to get bruised a little bit for a while, but it doesn't matter what age you're at. It doesn't matter what physical condition you're at. You have to work with what you've got, what good Lord has given you. Um, you're not near Hannibal at all, where Doug and Stacy are. Okay. I was thinking that I know Doug, if I'm not mistaken, has some friends that were in that kind of community that we could help you out with. But I'm not speaking for him, but I think that I heard him mention that at some point in time. But learning to deal with what God gave you. If you're hurt, if you're limited, me, I'm down. I've had 9 knee surgeries now, and a bad shoulder and a bad back, but you still don't want to grab a hold of me. Did everyone see Doug go out to Idaho and visit Idaho Hillbilly? I did not, but that would have been awesome. I'll have to go back and check that out. So I think that let me do some research, Life with Linda. I'll find out and see. I've got some good friends that are pretty well known in the martial arts community for mixed martial arts, and I'll get some good recommendations for you on places to go to do that. I really, really, really suggest you find an NRA instructor that teaches the Refuse to Be a Victim class. It's a mindset. It's about this toolbox up here more than it is about these tools. So go learn how to do this, and this stuff will come with it. Because you don't have to be strong to be able to manipulate or do what you need to do. But we'll get you there. We'll make it. Are you going to the Life Conference by chance, since you're up that way? Yeah, Sherry's Nation, you've got to look at all the little stuff. Your toolbox up here is always your biggest key. So locking windows, locking doors, making sure you have the right plants, making sure your gardening can work toward your security, making sure that you can facilitate not having ladders sitting outside your house and leaving your second story windows open. But if you've got a 20-foot extension ladder laying beside your house, that second story window is just the same as your ground level window. If you're going to leave your windows open, which I leave my windows open all the time, understanding that you set certain things in front of those windows that you can't just scoot with your hand. If you go to scoot them with your hand, it's going to knock it over and make a noise. So you always have ways to get around things. You have to think of everything in the triangle. That Trinity triangle there stands more than just the Holy Ghost, Jesus, and God. It stands for more than that Trinity for me. That triangle is having 3 means of getting away or getting out of a bad situation. Mountain Life in Montana, how are you? Good to see you. So, your toolbox, I say that all the time. My beard is in my cup, exactly. Have you seen this yet? Miss Olivia from Hidden Valley sent me that. Yeah, off-grid coffee drinking. So, keep those in mind. We'll get through some stuff. Next week's topic, so simple yet so deep, grace. I think you missed me, Chris. I want you to pick the top, not scripture, but actual topic. You want to talk about guns? Do you want to talk about gardening? Do you want to talk about butchering? Do you want to talk about canning? That's what I want you to do. I've already got someone that's going to pick out scripture for us next week. Consider it joy is picking out scripture. So if you can pick us out, and we can use grace. That's great. We can talk about grace because I think that's a great one. What is homesteading? That's awesome because I think we got so many different ones. Good stuff. Let me write that down real quick. Ugh. It gets harder and harder to bend every day. Is that happening for some of y'all? I go to twist or turn, it gets a little bit rougher. So let me get in this book here of mine. and write that down. Make what is homesteading? And then consider it joy. Joy is script. All right, good to go. So I've got that stuff written down, and we're going to be good to go. So, coffee, yes, I know it. Al Arts, I'm sorry, I've seen your name 3 times now, and I went to say hello, and that's good. Topic is, what is homesteading? I had a million scriptures in mind, LL, but we can do that later. Misunderstood by my connection is subpar tonight. You are good, Chris, and I know you have a heart for the Lord. So I guarantee you, I will be grabbing a hold of you to give us some in-depth scripture for us to go over, and look forward to that day. So good night. Go get some sleep, and good to go. Redheaded Hunter. I'm going to tell you a channel right now to go check out, young man, that you need to go do, and that's Big Bear Homestead. They are not on here tonight because Jason is preparing for a big trip up to Meyer. I think it's Meyer Hatchery that he's going to this week in Ohio. He'll be up with 2 family, and Roots and Refuge is going up that way to pick up their animals, and be good to go. Heidi K, if I didn't have the coffee tonight, I wouldn't be up doing this live. So everybody's been asking what's going on with the homestead. So let me tell you that. I put in water line to go to my second lot down to all my pig pens and lots, and with the garden and stuff. You guys saw the second garden tour. I probably have 40 tomatoes on vine right now of 3 or 4 different varieties. The black Krim tomato, 3 tomato plants I have, they're huge. They're like 3.5 feet high, but they had no blooms on them. Went down today, boom, they're popping. But they almost look like a marijuana plant. They grew up and they got the leaves cut, and they got these like big buds at the top of them. It's kind of crazy looking. I'm going to share those on next week's garden tour with you guys and let you guys see those. The Cherokee purples are banging, but my big ones are my German Johnsons that I started from seed from Roots and Refuge, and I'm hoping that nothing grabs a hold of them. I'm walking the garden twice a day. Hey, garden for cheap. I'm walking the garden twice a day and checking for cutworms and stuff, or hornworms, and just picking and stuff, which I've not found a whole lot. Knock on wood. But I've got some German Johnsons that are that big around, and I just can't wait for them to blush and start to color up. I'm going to be making a lot of salsa. I love salsa, so it's going to be fun. So yeah, we've got that going. I'm gonna have to replant all my cucumbers and hope that I get something out of them because the ducks ate up all those. Al Art is your husband. Hey, Al Art, I can't wait to meet you guys. That's awesome. Wouldn't have a channel without him. Good to go. Now, Kirsty, is he into foraging and stuff as well? Are you into forage? I guess I could just ask you, Al Art, are you into foraging and stuff? Like I said, I'm on that list of watching stuff. I've watched 2 of Kirsty's videos, but I'm wanting to go back, and I'm setting up those time periods to get in there. J Love Adventure, that's tiny little green tomatoes. Awesome. He is learning to Hey, that's awesome. Ducks eat the veggies, eat the ducks. Well, and we actually had that conversation. I showed you guys the mama duck that was sitting. Something got into her nest, and we don't really know what. Because usually, if it's a coon or something, you'll see the eggs busted and they'll have them eaten up. She would have been gone or 2, but they didn't make it. But we have 2 more ducks sitting, and we counted. I caught the 1 duck off, and just what I could count from looking, there's like 20 eggs in her nest, and then the other one is she's probably got the same in hers. So we're hoping the 1 duck's been sitting as long as the other one does. They should be they should be hatching off anytime. But for you guys that don't know about upgrading adventures, Hey, good to finally see you on here, brother. See you. It'd be a good time to have here tonight. God, I'm talking like silly right now, and I'm not tired. Because I've got 5 things going through my head right now. But we talked about that. The ducks were eating the cucumbers. He's like, "Oh, I'll replace the cucumbers because they're actually my neighbor's ducks." I said, "Don't do that. When they hatch off all these babies, we're gonna have plenty of ducks. We're gonna that food is converted into meat. So hopefully we'll get some of those in the cans this year too. I've never canned duck. It's really greasy, so we got to figure that one out." Hey, Georgiana Malone, once again, thank you so much, and God bless you for the gift you and your husband and your daughter sent. I really, really, really appreciate it. And yes, Scott, I'm seeing lots of squirrels tonight. But thank you and good night. Diana Villegas, how are you? Snakes probably ate the eggs. That would have been a lot of eggs, Diana. I mean, that nest was plumb packed. That would have been a ton of eggs for a snake to eat. And I've seen a black snake eat 2 eggs, but man, I don't know what would have done it. So pretty interesting. Trying to catch up. A fox could have done. Coyotes could have done it too. When you going to start measuring your water flow and head? I've actually already measured it, Hidden Valley Homestead. I've got that written down someplace. I'll send you an email if I can find that and let you know. But I know I filled if I ran a 3-inch pipe for 47 feet and had it coming out, which I know I would downsize that for pressure, especially on the systems that we're talking about. And I filled up a 5-gallon bucket in less than 8 seconds. So that's running. So it's got plenty. I'll eat a snake's pretty good, especially rattlesnake. So yeah, that's some pressure. And our creek's running a little bit crazy. I've got to go out and figure out some stuff. We have 2 creeks that run parallel to each other that feed into that big one that you guys saw on the video that I made. A walk with Chris and God's grace. Um, it was, hey, Grampy Camp, how are you? Um, Yeah, we have some power that's going to be pushing through there, Wildcat Hollow Farm. If nobody has went on and did that, we've talked about that in the past. Scott and myself both, unbeknownst to each other, are both looking into Power Spout. If you guys are looking at a hydro system, go check that out. Hydro is the way to go for alternative power. It beats solar, it beats wind. The thing with me right now is I'm so far invested into the solar right now with getting everything bought up that I'm going to go ahead and finish that out. And then the wind is so cheap to buy, less than $400. I can have 1,500-watt uh, wind turbine put in. So that'll go up pretty quick too. Grilled fairy tale creation snake is very good that way. You already ran. No, we just laid a piece of pipe in, got some flow, and laid it out for 40 feet. So, I mean, I can go 100 and something feet. But for 40 feet with the drop that I have, that's about where I came out to. And that was without any type of catchment at the top. That was just running it right into the creek. But it was pushing out of a 3-inch pipe. It was throwing it out pretty steadily. Country Homestead Preacher, I'm glad to see you're still on here. I know you have to get some rest. I hope you got out into the community this weekend in my challenge. And if not, I hope you get out there this week sometime. Not to call you out personally, but I'm calling you out personally. I know you're a good man. Do it. Please don't forget to watch ads on. Yeah, guys, I'm not. Whoa, Mountain Life Montana. What in the world, brother, sister? God bless you. Thank you very, very, very much. Holy smokes, guys. That is awesome, brother. That's camera funding right there at its best. Thank you, thank you. Man, that is awesome. I, whoa, I don't know what else to say, but thank you. Thank you, Over Valley Homestead, watching the video ads twice. That's cool. What part of Montana are you in, Mountain Life? Are you out toward any of the military bases out there? I have they call me Uncle Chris, but they're actually cousins. They're quite a bit younger that are, um, that he was stationed out that way. And I wanted to get out there. Butte area in the mountain. I wanted to get out there. He wanted to go hunting for mule deer and stuff out there. And I was gonna. We tried a couple times to make it work, and it just didn't. That was when my sister was pretty sick before she passed away, and that's it. Hey, Mims, how is the baby doing, guys? I forgot to ask Mims that. Mims has got a new grandbaby, um, and I hope Mama's doing well too. But I'm a peduncle again. If you all don't know what a peduncle is, that's a papa uncle. I'm an honorary papa uncle with Mims's garden stuff, so I'm on it. I want the Canon 50 Al Arts. That's the camera. I know Two Family's going to fuss at me because it doesn't have an external mic hookup, but that's what Roots and Refuge shot a lot of their videos on, and it looks great. Mom is good too. Okay, awesome. Good stuff on it. But that's the camera that I really would like to get. So Hidden Valley, the commercials come on as soon as you come on. When you start the video, I set it up where there weren't any commercials or intermediate breaks in between the lives because I just want them to run. But when you first come on to the lives, it'll come on and goes. Yeah, I know. See, I told you Two Family would give me. It has no external mic. Yep, I know. I think that it's so close to that Sure Shot that I have in that Canon that I think I would enjoy the way it goes. The G7 does not. Okay. Oh, it does have the external. Okay, good to go. I know that they ran a special. Yeah, Jess broke hers. She broke the flip up or whatever it is. I think is where it is. But I found the 50 on Amazon. It's actually on my wish list too. I put stuff on my wish list that I'm not looking for you guys to buy, but I put it on there as stuff that I want to buy so I can constantly go back. But I know at one point in time they had a complete package. Oh, okay, hold on. I'll get to you. Um, any advice for a single mom wanting to homestead? Yes, and I'll get to that just after I answer this question. And it's Kitty Weaver Phoenix. Okay, Kitty Weaver Phoenix. Welcome and thank you for coming on. Um, but they had the whole kit with the bipods and everything on it was like 529 or 479. It was a crazy price that they ran it on a sale that weekend. So kind of waiting for that to come back up right now. So that's it. Um, Kite Weaver. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm horrible at names, so I'm sorry. So for a single mom wanting to start into homesteading, first of all, I would say make sure that you are mentally ready for it because if you're homeschooling and stuff, or your kids are in school and you're going on to the homestead, you're compounding all that. So if you're a single mom and you're trying to work, you're trying to homestead, and you're trying to homeschool, you really have to have that going on real good. Uh, um, so having that mindset that where you're going to be, so you're not so stressed out. The second is whenever you start your homestead, get your infrastructure first before you do anything. So get your garden beds set up. If you're going to do res beds, or you're going to do in-ground gardening, or you're going to do horticulture, or you're going to do back to Eden, have all that set up. If you're going to have chickens, go ahead and get and work on your coops. Get those set up. Have your run set up. If you're going to try to do goats, try to have your goat pen set up. Try to have your goat shelter set up. Have that stuff done. Have that infrastructure set. Then go in and start getting your animals and stuff. It it's hard to do because you want those animals, you want them on the homestead, you want them there so fast. But if you don't have the infrastructure, it costs you so much in heartache and pain from loss and things of that nature. Now, did two family, I'm going to make you a moderator. Don't feel that you have to mod and be on here for everyone, even though you most of the time are. But that'll give you the ability to post any links that you want. Feel free. You don't have to ask. Just do what you need to do. You have the power of the wrench now. So thank you. But so Kite Weaver, that internal ability to have your infrastructure done first on a homestead. And I would say that even if you're a homesteader that's already doing it, get your infrastructure done. If you're talking about going and getting a new animal, look at the work that Jess and Maya have put in for this new animal they're getting this week. They're making sure that everything's there so they have the best success for what they're doing. You know, if you're gonna homestead and you're gonna start homeschooling with it at the same time, and your kids have been in public school, make sure that you are grabbing all that information for homeschool, that you're pulling it in, that you have that locked down, and that you are ready to go and get started with that when you're going. Use the homestead to teach your kids. You know, just like using sight words when you're teaching them to read, use the actual, you know, garden toolbox, the animal toolbox to do that. Two Family says he's grown with all these wrenches. I'm gonna give you a hammer. I'm gonna request that I get a hammer from YouTube. They won't do it, but hey, we ordered T6 instead of the T6i last year and can't swap. That was fun. Yeah. So I hope that helps you a little bit, Kite Weaver, on where you're at. What area are you gonna look at homesteading in, and how many kids do you have? All right, let's see. I was just going to suggest making two family home. Yeah, and like I said, two family, Daryl, Sherry, do not worry about coming on and and modding. You can, if you catch them, do what you got to do. You got the wrench, but being able to post your information that you need to post up, you have free reign. I can go anywhere, work from home at the moment. Okay, what area are you in right now? Are you in Phoenix in Arizona? But you love snow. Snow makes homesteading harder. One kid, four at home. One kid, four at home. One kid, four at home. So not in school. Oh, he's four at home. Okay. Jacksonville, Florida. Okay. Well, if you like snow and stuff, look up toward North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, the lower part of Virginia. If you look into all those areas right in there, you still get all your four seasons. You get great growing seasons, things of that nature. Um, I have a pretty good shot for an old. You can steal down a troll or two. I know you can. So good night, good night, Hidden Valley Scott. I hope you have a wonderful night and a blessed day at work in the morning when you get up and do that. Tell Olivia thank you again, and I'll be getting that PayPal into her at the end of the week, and take care of all that. Yeah, see, like you love snow, but you don't want it to just have stopped snowing like at Mountain Life in Montana last week. That's crazy. Hey, no, you made my night, Scott. You guys are awesome. Yeah, Michigan does have now, guys. If you don't know, and if you don't know Upper Gardening Adventure, when I was an air marshal, I was actually out of the Detroit area, so that's where I was as an air marshal. Was I lived in Romulus when I first came there, and then Brighton Howell area. Once I got a little smarter, that's where I went to. So Brighton and Howell is where I spent 7 years, and I absolutely love Michigan. if you get out of the Detroit, and Detroit is nice too, areas of it, there's things that you can do, but ew, house sucks. If you can go up and there, it's good. House in South Carolina. Okay. Rainbow 505. I meant to get into that earlier. I am going Friday, and I have 3 individuals that I'm showing the house to in South Carolina on Friday. One is an individual that I know is from that area who, his name is Bryson, who was in the military and is a truck driver now, and his family owns all the property that's around there, and that would be, you're just north of the Mackinac Bridge, so you're in the upper UP, so in upper G, um, but so anyway, I'm hoping that it sells pretty quickly. I would like to see that young man get it. He's a strong faith individual from what I remember, from the couple of times I've met him. He's married, got 2 young children, so it kind of fits in for what I've been being led in the heart for. Might not necessarily be a homesteader, but I might be able to talk him into it. Whole lot of homesteading. Hey, Chris, how's it going? It's going wonderful. I appreciate you coming in. We're still 66 strong, 128 thumbs up. So if you've not hit it yet, please hit it. Well, you're right, Kite Weaver, for Rainbow 505. Kite Weaver, I have a home in South Carolina that is right at an acre, a little bit less than an acre. 0.84, 0.94. I can't remember exactly offhand. Plenty of room for goats and chickens. You could do a pig if you wanted to raise them out on a small paddock, just for raising out for meat. Plenty of room for a huge garden if you wanted to do a big garden, and you're surrounded by about 45,000 acres of game management to hunt and fish. So I do have that. There's a video on that if you would like to. I'm a proud troll. Smithsteading. So, I do have that one. Good evening, Wilding Nicks. American mini hogs are great for small homes. American guinea hogs and coons are great too. Lisa Hopkins, how are you? Appreciate you coming on. So yeah, Kite Weaver, I do have a place for sale. I'm glad that people on here remind me of that stuff, because see, that's not my intentions of what I'm doing here. So it's kind of fun to have you guys back me up on that stuff to let people know. Yeah, it's a three. Yes, Kite Weaver. There's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath ranch. It's all on the video. Mims, could you link to that video for Kite Weaver, so she can go look? I've got a whole house tour on there that I put on here, and my ultimate goal would to get it into somebody's hands that's a young single person wanting to homestead and stuff. So, and it is a livable house that's on city water. It has septic system, but it also has a full well that would need to be done and have to have a water filtration system put on it, but it is there. So, and very reasonably priced. But now it's in a very, very rural area. You're still within 30 minutes of a grocery store, but you're not, you're only 45, 50 minutes away from Augusta, Georgia, which is huge, but living the dream homestead. Good night, Sherry Nation. Cherie Nation. There you go. Kite Weaver, Mims's Garden, who's in blue, just posted a link to that YouTube video for you. So if you look just a few down below you, you will see that link for that home. So it's a little bit underneath 1,000 square feet, I think. Mims does rock. All my moderators lock. Guys, if you guys haven't, go check out each other on the moderation. Go just check out everybody that's on here. Everybody here knows everybody. So, well, some of you some of you guys from out in Idaho and stuff may not know some of these names that are on here, so that's cool. Because I know like Steadden. Um, I don't think I've seen you guys on Hidden Valley stuff and a couple of things like that. A lot of those guys are there, so go check each other out. Okay, thank you for tagging her like that, Mims. Lisa Hopkins, hey. Still working on naming the farm. Where did you end up at, Lisa Hopkins? I think it was Life that Linda sent me an email with some pictures of her new place too. Good night, Kirsty. Al Art, good night. If you're going to bed with her, which I hope you are. Good night, guys. Good night. Oh, it's Kirsty Atkins that's going to bed. So good night to you guys too. Oh yeah. This is a great part about doing the live in the kitchen. I got the kettle of coffee right there. I hope you guys can hear that pour. Yeah. And it's still pretty warm. So that's good. You did miss the Bible verse, Living Dream Homestead. We did. I don't want to read it again, but I don't want to beat people up too much. Not know much longer it can take. If I can get my eyes to work. It was Jeremiah 10, 1 through 10 was the Bible verse. So Jeremiah 10, 1 through 10. At least I'm in Kentucky. I've owned 10 acres for 36 years. Awesome. Are you going to go to the Stivers, Lisa? If you are, I will see you there. I couldn't remember the actual chapter verse, but thank you, Fairy Tale Creation. You're welcome. The reason that I read it tonight, Living the Dream Homestead, was that I had a conversation. We were talking about Christmas with some people, and someone tried to quote Jeremiah 10 as the reason for not celebrating Christmas at Christmas time. And I'm a believer in that you shouldn't celebrate Christmas in December in that time period. And we made it a holiday for Christmas. We celebrate Christmas, but I celebrate Christmas as a time for me to give gifts to people that I love. There is another meetup in Kentucky before the Stivers event, just so you know. What event is that, Two Family Homestead? Give us that information. Yeah, it is a man-made holiday, but I don't like it when people go in that are part of the Christian community and they pick out a chapter verse and try to use it for what it is, because Jeremiah 10, 1 through 10 is not talking about Christmas. It's talking about individuals that are going out and making totems and posts, and then donating in silver and gold to craftsmen that have made up the late silks and stuff to do it, and have placed that false idol above the other. The Christmas tree and stuff is another idol that celebrates something else, as well as Easter. Easter is based off of the sun god Esther, and where it's at. So when we're celebrating the resurrection of Christ in April, that date doesn't completely jive either with what would biblically be correct. When you start looking when Caesar made up the modern calendar, and you lose so many minutes per year if you actually go through and look at the dates and times and descriptions of that time of his resurrection. I don't think that it was in April as well. It kind of does some different things. Celebrating is great, but it is. Stringfield Ridge Farm, I think, is the channel hosting it on the other side of Kentucky. Sherry is sleeping, so I'm not sure. I do not touch the book. Hello. Okay, I'll email Sherry and ask her for that information. Kirsty, appreciate you coming on, sharing your knowledge. sharing your husband tonight and letting him come on and enjoy us. So thank you, Al Art. We appreciate both of you, and I hope to get to see you at the bash. So good night. That is correct, Two Family Homestead. It's like a picnic meetup. Okay, well, we'll have to see how far away that is. Stivers are 4 hours away, so that's an easy one to boom in and out. Whole lot of homestead. Hi, I'm from Arizona. Try to teach people how not to homestead in the desert. How not to homestead in the desert. I got 50 acres not too long ago. Video coming soon. Wait till you see how green the desert can be. You know what? A whole lot of homestead. I actually have a friend that lives out in Phoenix area, and they do some gardening. You just have to do everything different, and you have to be a little smarter about how you want to go about stuff. So I can't wait to see that video. So I'm gonna get. Do you have other videos out right now, or is that going to be your first one? So that'd be interesting. Weed 'em and Reap is in Arizona. Weed 'em and Reap, yep. And then there's another one out there too. That's pretty good. Yeah, just have to help promote almost everyone, or we try to anyway, unless there's reason. Yeah, Daryl, that's awesome. Yeah, so we'll get that information out there for next week's live, and we'll put that in there. So, oh God, let's see if I can beat Mims here. Remove. Okay, there we go. Hey, I beat you, Mims, and Fairy Tale Creation. Yep, I beat you guys. Good to go. Green Dream Project is in the Green. That was the one I was thinking about. Green Dream Project. They're a whole lot of Homestead. Check them out too if you're not already checking them out. Doing some awesome stuff. So, but you know us, we want to help promote everybody and keep everybody rolling and stuff too. So we're hoping. Yeah, I just wanted to try to beat you on one. I'm not going to try to do it anymore. Chris, my son is watching you. Okay, what's your son's name? Smith Steading. I thought it was a Formula 2, but I didn't want to know what the formula was for. So, Theron, how are you doing tonight? How old are you? So, who else got some cool stuff coming up? That is an awesome name. You're 2 years old? Oh man, you're getting to be big. Theron, that is an awesome name, and you are going to be a big boy. I can't wait to see you on some videos and stuff. If you're doing stuff with mom and dad, you helping? Can you see me? Do I look weird talking to you through the computer? I love it. For all you guys that know me personally, Kathy, hey, how are you? Blue Cactus Scary Goats is in Arizona as well. So there's you another one. He's still in the phone. Awesome. Hey, Theron, steal that phone, boy. But for those of you who know me personally, I love kids. Some people would think being all tattooed and big old bearded guy, I go up and I'll take time. I'm very respectful about how I do it, but I pretty much take over all the kids. He got excited, kissed you, and laid down. Awesome. So, Red Rick Grass, hey man, please keep me in your prayers. I had heart surgery 3 weeks ago and have been down until today. Love you, bro. Hey, we'll keep you in there, man. I hope you're feeling better. Are you moving around, getting up stuff? Because that's I got two uncles that have had it, and that one is a big key is to get up and move. So keep yourself moving, keep that heart pumping just a little bit, and it'll help that soreness go away too, from what they both said to me. I can Marco Polo, Teresa, and Stringfield Ridge Farms to get details and info tomorrow for you on that meetup. Just remind me. Okay, Mims, I'll do that, and you can send me that through an email or through text message, and I can do that. Good, Redrick Grass. I appreciate you moving around and keeping yourself going for us. Your tattoo is a tattooed biker. We do a bike blessing every year. Good to go. That's awesome. Yeah, like I said on here, and I made the challenge a while back to get everybody that's in the church out and to step out of the church and go to these places that you normally wouldn't go to the bars, go to a nightclub, go to some place and step out of your comfort zone. You don't have to go drink. You don't have to go womanize or manonize, if you want to say it. You don't have to go out and be stupid, but go out and just be a good human being. If you're a good human being, God works his conversation into that. Um, and it's good to go. I've been at that bottom before. God pulled me out of it. So, and it's very easily that good old devil to reach up and grab you. But once you know his name, once you give yourself to him, once you put yourself in his grace, guess what? It's not up to you anymore. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Chris, I never did message you the other day because you posted the South Carolina video and answered my question already. What was your question, though, harvesting the bounty? Because there may be another answer to it. You can ask it on here. I don't care. We have the Hellfighters Bike Club near us. There's probably 1,000 of them that do rides in ministry. That's cool. If you guys ever see him come on here, um, Leanne's Leanne's life. Her husband is the polar bear, and James actually runs a ministry for bikers, and they only do 1%ers. And they're one of the few bike ministries that actually get respect because most of the other bike ministries will show up and they drink and smoke and do all kinds of just silly stuff that they shouldn't do, spreading the word of God. And there's nothing wrong with having a beer and stuff, but if you're going trying to help somebody and you're getting wasted and blitzed and high, you're not doing the work of God by any means, and that's part of the problem with modern day Christianity is abuse of whatever it is. But they go to all the big 1% clubs and they get a lot of respect because they don't do that stuff, and they don't go try to beat them over the head with the Bible. You can actually see the service on New Life City Church on Facebook every fifth Sunday. My wife does the service. Okay, awesome. Contented spirits, hey, prayers for you. It will be keep better. I was an open heart nurse for many years. Keep moving, deep breaths, and maintain your positive attitude. Pray, and he will see you through. Amen. Contented spirit. Awesome. We like seeing you in here. There's so much knowledge that happens on these lives, guys. So much knowledge. Dead to sin. So if you see their patch, say hello. Absolutely. Dead to sin. Keep that one in mind. So yep. So I've got some things I need to do. Chris, I am so happy to have found Chris and Stacy and now you. Yeah, Chris and Stacy are awesome too. I'm enjoying their channel. They're blossoming and gonna do a good day. Okay, y'all think I'm going to go to bed, garden for cheap. We stay up late. You know that. Sorry about that. Bedtime for living the dream. See you. Good night. Um, God is putting the right people in my life. Good. I'm glad that He is, and I'm glad that hopefully I'm one of them. So, you know, uh, you guys are all what God meant for me to be. Um, I've never felt so strong in my faith. I've never felt so strong in my purpose in life, in anything other than being a father. than what I'm doing right now. And I guess the only thing I could call it is a movement within my life in this season of my life, being able to share with everybody photos, lands, layout, neighbors, price is great, but I'm looking to have neighbors so close, everything just falling apart on my end. Anyhow, ugly separation. Pray you get through. Harvest the bounty. We will pray for you too. Divorce is a hard, ugly, silly thing. I know you have some special circumstances, somewhat like I did. I'm hoping it all works out for you. I know you have little children and big children, so um, we got your back. We will say those prayers. Well, I got to go to work tomorrow, so yep. Good night. We'll see you. Whole lot of Homestead. Bed. Check out my video. Maybe y'all can give me some advice. I got a latex allergy, then disabled with rheumatoid arthritis, still not giving up. You can't give up. Considerate spirit. Or contented spirit. I don't know why I say considerate. Once you give up, you're done. You're done. You're done. You're done when you give up. Mountain Life, Montana. Single, I am living testament in ways you would not believe. Seen more than my most stupid long story, but God walked me through it. Still looking to find out why and loving it. Mountain Life in Montana. I hope to meet you one day and we can share some of those stories because I've been in probably some of the worst places you have. I have to pray to God that I've never had a drug addiction. I may have drank a little too much while in the Marine Corps, but there's a very thin line between the criminal and the law enforcement officer, and it depends on which side you decide to step over. As a youth, I could have easily stepped over to the bad side as well as I could have to the good side. So I'm very fortunate that I chose the good side. Um, pretty good, pretty good man, I think, my whole life, but that temper of mine was a little short at times. Most people that know me uh, would have said that they could have never seen me be in law enforcement or military, um, not because of the short temper. Actually, totally the opposite. That I didn't have the temperament for it. I'm very laid back, but I have a light switch, and I'm very easily switched on and switched off. And still to this day, I can switch that switch off and on just like that. So I'm very good at what I did for a living. At the same point in time, uh, I don't ever want to go back there, but I can revisit it at any time I need to if need be. So anyway, so that's where we're at. Um, it is what it is. The other life, me and my wife are in the middle of a casual conversation. We want to get more homestead experience and save money for said homestead. Should we go on work way to get experience this year or next year? The other life, I think that you guys, what you're doing right now, um, I know me and Big Bear talked about it after the live when you called in last week. Um, I think that you are doing what you need to do. I think as your name gets out here and spread a little bit more through us in this community, that a lot of people are going to take you up on your skills. And I think that, it could be a mutual benefit. If you don't know who the other life is, Ivan and his wife are from, I say Russia, but they're from, I think it was the Czech and someplace else. Correct me, Ivan. Um, but Ivan is a wealth of knowledge and talent when it comes to the electronics world and networking and setting up the ability to live stream and have Wi-Fi over a greater area. Kazakhstan and Moldova are where they're from, but they're great young people. They're working toward being debt free, saving every penny that they can to buy their homestead and be able to retire. I think 35, 36 is their plan. And, very good people. What they like to do is travel. They're in Las Vegas right now, but if they know they're coming back and they've got two weeks before they're going to go, they'll try to go to a homestead. Mims just linked their American site because they have a Russian one too that you won't ever figure out unless you speak Russian. But they travel, they'll stop, they'll stay for a week or two. They'll help you with infrastructure and trade for knowledge on the homestead, how to butcher, how to raise animals, how to take care of fencing and stuff. Ivan, I think, kind of grew up in his homeland, kind of doing some of this stuff already. But you can, Daryl from Two Family can attest to the young man's talents when it comes to networks and things like that. So if you're living out rurally and you want to be able to figure out a way to increase your Wi-Fi and increase your stuff like that, he is definitely one to go look at and to pick his brain. He's on most every one of the lives, but like I said, I think he's actually in Los Angeles right now, making a delivery. So if you've got a place and you want to put them up for a week or two and trade for services for training, I'm sure that you could work out a deal with them. Yeah, he can teach, and his wife can teach Russian language and cooking too. She's a heck of a lady too. I talk about Ivan all the time, but as everybody knows, with every great man stands a great woman. So keep that in mind. They're both good folks. And she drives the truck too, guys. They tag team driving so they can maximize the amount of money that they make into their home, and put away. I don't think they're going to have any problem meeting their goal of being able to be completely debt free and having their homestead. Their truck is their home. They don't own a house. They don't have an apartment. I think they have a storage unit or two that they lease, but their truck is their home. So pretty neat lifestyle and what he's doing. So go check him out. Ivan and them are the ones that gave me the camera that I'm using at this point right now. They came all the way to the shindig from Nashville out of their way to give me a camera. That I just my camera I completely fried, not the one he gave me. Duncan, Brenda, that would be awesome too, to have them come out and do that. Free secret storage. Yeah. It's all about a Russian conspiracy though, guys, with these guys. So you got to keep that in mind. You're getting involved with the Russians, so just understand that. I lived in an 18-wheeler for years. I know how that is. Mountain life in Montana, you're in an area that they want to go to Homestead. So if there's something that you could do, and I'm not trying to make this hookup right now, but if I'm not mistaken, Ivan, is Montana not one of the places that you guys really want to go? Ivan's got certain allergies to certain bugs that are really, really bad allergies. And I don't think they really exist. That bug and stuff really exist out your way, mountain life in Montana. But they if I'm not mistaken, that is one of the areas they really want to go. And they are good people. I've actually met them in person. I would not tell you that if I didn't. But yeah, I've heard that a lot, mountain life in Montana. But if I'm not mistaken, that's what Ivan, is that not one of the places that you and your wife have looked at? I think it was Montana, Wyoming, Missouri, maybe. Which Missouri, there's some bugs up there too, buddy. Um, I'm looking at mid north, not allergic, just don't like too much humidity. Okay, I thought you had said one time there was some type of bug or something. Yeah, mid north. Yeah, so right there in that whole thing. Wisconsin, Tennessee's made the list now. Oh man, you don't want to come to Tennessee if humidity gets you. we got some humidity. We have a very short growing season. June 10th was our frost free date. till September 1st. Yeah, it's real short, but you have a good climate for doing some animals um, if you do some stuff. Missouri, Duncan says, get on out there. West Tennessee, you're really going to have humidity, but I know all about subground greenhouses. There you go. Ticks are horrendous in Missouri. Ticks are horrendous right here, right now. Mary Simpson, they are crazy. I've picked off probably 20 ticks this year and several off of ELYN. Yeah, anything past the Mason-Dixon line, you're absolutely right. Harvesting the bounty. We still got 50 on, 55 people on, and we're at 144 likes. So that's awesome, guys. Lisa Hopkins asking you, Brenda, what part of Missouri? Guineas do eat ticks, and they do a great job, but they are so super noisy. Midwestern, Mary Simpson. Miss Brenda from Duncan 1900 says, ticks aren't too bad here, but the mosquitoes are horrendous. Yes, you are absolutely right on that. Simpsonstead, Chris, greenhouses in Michigan, tail end of snow belt. What should we look for? You should look at talking to Mountain Life Homesteading there, or the Mountain Life Montana, about those in-ground greenhouses at the frost level, because I really like those anywhere you're at that you have cold winters. You can look into that Alaskan way of growing stuff. You can get away with a lot of stuff. Been a long day. Good night, brother. Thank you so much for that super chat that you did. That was awesome and is leaning a great deal toward our goals. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Yep. Hey, Food Forest Permaculture. Hello, how are you tonight? Good to see you popping in here. So yeah, so awesome. We are enjoying the heck out of this. We can go for a little bit longer. I'm still pretty good. The coffee's still holding me out. If you guys want to stay on, if you feel like you need to get off here and go to bed, please jump off and go to sleep. I'll give it another, we'll make it 3 hours even, so another 20 something minutes and see where we can go. Can't do it in ground there. Look at the window greenhouses, such as what Reach and Refuge did, what Maya built. It's a good option. How big of a space do you have would be the next one. And I'm going to have a video coming out pretty soon on my greenhouse, and it's not a good one. So I'll leave it at that so that you all will go watch it when it comes out. Rocky Mountains are great. The other life, Montana is beautiful but very cold. It is Rainbow 505. I agree with you. For what they're looking at, Michigan might be a really good option. Um, the upper part of the hand and upper part, it's a little bit expensive, but you can still find property decent. Oh gosh, here we go. Let's do this. How about remove? Wilson and I just finished watering the tomatoes and cukes. That's awesome. My cucumbers, you didn't get it on here earlier. My cucumbers got eaten by my neighbor's ducks, so I'm gonna have to replant all my cucumbers. But I saw some at Lowe's the other day, even though they're not going to be my heirloom seeds and stuff, that were fairly big, and I will do that and see where I'm at. Ivan is sending me a picture. Let's see. Here you go, guys. I don't know if this will come through. Let me see if I can. This is Ivan's. Let me see. I don't know if I can make it happen. Let's see. There, it's starting. Anyway, that's from the truck where Ivan and them are watching me on the in the truck watching the live. So that's awesome. So let's see. I've gotten all this stuff crazy. I want a greenhouse too so bad. Cucumber stuffed ducks. That's what me and the neighbor decided that it's just converting over to meat. So Odessa County, where I am, against animals and no ordinance. That's cool. Heirloom roasted duck. Exactly. Mary says, I love duck, guys. You just have to know how to cook duck for duck to be good. And my neighbor's ducks are a Muscovy and something else mix. So Muscovy duck, if you've never eaten a Muscovy duck, you're missing out on something wonderful. So I would suggest trying them out. They're very, very nice. So, um, and then Pine Knot Farms was on here earlier. Um, okay, everybody, husband goes to work in 3 hours. I'm going to go get my cuddles. Good night. You better go get some cuddles. Good night. Thank you for coming in, and I hope you got some good information. Makeshift lean-to on our south side. 6 mil plastic. Yeah. Been great. And that's another one when you're talking about doing a greenhouse. If depending on your area, attaching that greenhouse to your house, depending on your humidity levels, sometimes you can get into some mold issues and stuff with that. But setting your greenhouse hooked to your house can help with your heating costs too, which is a great one to look at. Do you have a video of that UP gardening? Made it. Yeah, that would be cool. Mackinac Island is beautiful. You would need a greenhouse to grow much. Yep. I actually had the opportunity at one time. I got offered a job with the forestry department to go to Mackinac Island and work, and chose not to. Um, our cabin in the woods. Hey, how are you doing? We appreciate you stopping in and saying hello. Uh, Good to see you always. We're just kind of we're going to go to 3 hours and then jump off, so nobody has to feel like they have to stay. I'm just doing that to do what we need to do. You're fine. Cabin in the woods. We roll for a couple hours every time we do this, and we still got 50 on right now. 146 thumbs up, so that's awesome. Hit the thumbs up for me if you don't mind, if you didn't already. Um, we're just chatting. We read some scripture, Jeremiah 10, 1 through 10 earlier. So if you want to go catch that in a little while, go look at that one. Like number 146. Now we're at 148. Thank you, sir and ma'am. Um, so yeah, we just been enjoying. We talked a little bit about personal security earlier. We've been talking about some canning. Now we're talking about greenhouses for areas that you basically have to have a greenhouse for, which is always good. That really depends on your area, because if it's too hot, the siding will melt. Wood, yeah, you absolutely. That's what I was saying with humidity and heat. Um, well, thank you, Jamie. How are you? Uh, I'm now. Good. Is that Jamie from here in Johnson City? I can't tell. I can't see the little thumbnail. Saucy Beard 101 talk. Hello, how are you? Catching people coming on. Rome, Georgia. I actually did scuba diving training in Rome, Georgia there, Jamie. I did it up there at the quarry. There's a Navy SEAL that owns a quarry up there. Sherry Mize from Alabama. Hello, and thank you for the beautiful sunflower. Um, so yeah, it's no. I'm interested in homesteading. You are to be applauded. That is very hard work. Everybody on here pretty much is into the homesteading community or supports the homesteading community. Pretty much everyone that you see with Wrench has a channel, so go check them out. Wealth of knowledge on where we're at on stuff. Um, I do it all as a single parent, which throws a different twist to it. I also homeschool, so that's kind of what my channel's about. Um, you've got quite a few variations, and next week's live is going to be on what a homestead is, and we're going to kind of go through there. I may actually do some email interviews with a couple of these channels on here. They don't know that yet, but and get some questions and answers from them on their interpretation of what a homestead is. For me, it was bringing in that larger. We live mountain life anyway. We live in Northeast Tennessee and Appalachian Mountains, and this is just a way of life for us up here. But I brought what I know and my knowledge into a smaller area. So my homesteading, in my mind, is doing what we've done forever on a smaller piece of property and being very self-sufficient and knowing how to manage and manage space, time, money, and being a good dad all at the same time. Good night, Narrowway Farms. I really appreciate you coming in, brother. So, well, thank you for the compliment on the beard. Uh-oh. Ivan and them are sending me pictures of Russian dumplings made in an Instapot. That's another one. If I had power, I don't have power, so nobody send me an Instapot. That's one I would enjoy cooking in, I think. But I must have missed somebody. I'm sorry. There's a video by Christian Dirksen showing the greenhouse system by a man in Nebraska using geothermal heating and cooling. Hey guys, I'm going to tell you a channel, and I've said this a couple of other times. If you're looking to live off grid like we do, we live completely off grid, but you're in a colder area, go watch Gridlessness. Gridlessness. It's a gentleman, his wife, and 5 daughters, ranging from like 11 to 17. He has a geothermal system that he uses to heat his greenhouse using compost. So he has a big black coiled pipe with composting pile that's about 12 feet deep, and it feeds in, and they get down into the negative 30s and 40s at times, and it heats his greenhouse to where he's still growing, and he heats his garage too. So go check him out. Very awesome channel. One of my favorite channels to watch, actually, and it's called Gridlessness. So if one of my mods wants to throw that link up there, that'd be cool. Lisa Hopkins, how are you? So yeah, that's a really his 2 oldest daughters right now. Oh, you watch him too, Ivan. They Ivan, and tell your wife not to get mad at me. What is your wife's name again? I've asked this twice now and I've forgotten both times. I want to know so I can not just say his wife. Post her name up there for me. But Gridlessness is his 2 oldest daughters. He bought a sawmill, and his 2 oldest daughters are building their own cabin now for them to live in together. None of the daughters, they're all absolutely gorgeous young ladies. None of his daughters have any intentions of leaving. And they will tell you that. We love the way they live. When they turn 11, they get a box of shells and a 243 rifle. They've been hunting their whole life, but at 11, they get actually they're big girls now, and they get to go out and start helping provide ELYN. Hope I said that. ELYN. Sorry, ELYN, and thank you very much for your part that you do. So there's Gridlessness that Fairy Tale Creations just posted up. Go check them out. Tell them Single Dad Homesteading sent you. Leave something in the message for me, because I've been trying to correspond with him a little bit, and I would love to make that happen. I would love to take ELYN and go up there and stay for a week with them and see kind of how they live, because man, they have a beautiful place and an awesome place. So, buffers, am I buffering? Big question. Okay, would you let your daughter date Kenny Jones? Thank you, Duncan. Oh boy, troll time. We got 10 more minutes, guys. But my mods are awesome. That's why you see all this blue still here. Think you got Two Family Homestead got on that one too. Get them. I don't think I can do anything to them now. Mine's on about a little bit of a lag, so just like Juliana, but with a J. Juliana. Okay. It's tried to hide. One question, what's the point of the moderators take care of trolls? So like that gentleman that just came on there, they come in, they start saying nasty stuff, racial stuff. They'll come in and throw. It's mostly kids, mostly young kids. They come in, they'll say just bad words and names. So the wrench should be a hammer, and they just get that trash out of here so we don't have to listen to it. What is homesteading? From Captain Sweden. Captain Sweden, homesteading is self-sufficient. Within Sweden, you guys, it's just like a mini farm. We raise our own food. Last year, I was 55% self-sufficient through the garden and through hunting and raising meat, chickens, and eggs. This year, I have La Mancha goats, which is a dairy goat. I've got chickens. I've got quail. I just harvested 2 old spot pigs. We hunt and we fish. I have 12 raised beds that I'm raising a gardening and stuff in. So basically, just trying to take it back a couple hundred years and live with what good Lord gave us and hone those skills that are being lost. So that's it, Captain Sweden. That's kind of in a nutshell what we're trying to do. So I hope that answered your question. You have quite a few homestead channels. If you're in Sweden, you have quite a few homestead channels in your area that you can look up. Some pretty good ones too. So I'm not asking to be a mod for you, so don't get me wrong when I ask this, but what must I do to become one there, like a resume? No, you don't do a resume. You just participate on a channel and you stay around enough that your reputation of being just a good person, like for instance, Mims's Garden is my head moderator. She just posted the link for gridlessness. She kind of takes care of everything. Fairy Tale Creation is kind of her second. Two Family Homestead on here and Duncan 1900 are both YouTube wide and renowned moderators that are very good at that job and take care of this. I have a lot of moderators on here of people I've personally met that I know are good people. And most of the time, most of my moderators don't get to do anything because Mims's Garden, Two Family Homestead, Duncan 1900, Fairy Tale Creation are so fast and so good at catching the trolls they can. But moderators also will post links for me. They'll catch names when I see people coming on and popping on. As you can see, we've had 149 people total on tonight. So I'll miss people. They'll post on and say hello, which gives me an opportunity to see their name and to say hi to people. Just like right now. Mary Simpson, good night and thank you for coming. I didn't see that she was going to bed, but I see the blue writing and it says good night, Mary Simpson. So it throws me back up to be able to say good night as well. So in a nutshell, That's how you become a moderator. So, good night, Food Forest Permaculture. Another great channel, guys. If you're not watching them, you need to go check them out. I hit them, but everyone so fast. Yeah, I'm usually so far behind that I miss them too. Oh, okay, cool. Well, that's it. Good night to you, Saucy Beard 101. You have a good night and enjoy yourself. Are you from are you coming over from oh gosh, the hot sauce channel? And why am I blowing a gasket on that one? Are you one of the hot sauce guys from that group of people that I watch? I love hot sauce. So anyway, if you are, welcome and thank you for coming over. But me and Big Bear both joined that group. They do some. It is funny. They're a little crazy, but and they don't do all the things that we do usually. But it's just a fun thing to watch. And if you like hot, spicy food, it's a good one. So, Hot Sauce Challenge, I think is the name of it. I can't remember right off back. Hot Sauce Junkies or Hot Sauce Junction or something like that. I'll find out, Saucy Beard. If you come back next Wednesday, I'll make sure I have it to just show out there. I'll have to go into my thing I can't do right now. Everything spicy. There, Mims knows what it is. It's everything spicy. See, that's how you become a moderator, is to know what I'm thinking when I don't know what I'm thinking. Everything spicy. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Average A. There's nothing like waking up in the morning. Grandparents' homestead. Smell the cooking wood stove. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Duncan 1900. We got about 3 minutes, guys, and we're going to get off of here. So if you guys would like to start saying your good nights and stuff, please do so. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Yeah, let it go through. Let's see here. Well, now it's only letting me put them in. Only letting me put them in there. Let one go by there, guys, and I'll take care of it. Good night there, Smith Homesteading. I'm trying to, but you guys got to let him go by, Mims. When he comes up, I'll grab him, but you got to let him go in 300 seconds. So I'm trying. I tried to get him on the last one, but somebody hit me just a second quicker. Sherry, we appreciate you coming in, and you're never late. We're always having a good time. These end up going for 2 to 3 hours, so a lot of times we'll catch people from Australia and stuff when we're doing there. Yeah, you guys got them pretty good on that one, Mims. I didn't even get to see what they were saying. I was trying to catch them, though, when I saw everybody timing them out. But that's cool. You guys are good at what you do. I hide them from this channel at the bottom. I hide them. This is our logo for Single Dad Homesteading, and it's got a rooster, a water can, and a goat with the cross in the middle and the Trinity cross. This is the huge buck my father killed this year. About 50 yards out of his back door. Biggest deer he's ever killed in his life. Okay. So that's what it is. Biggest buck. That's all right, guys. Get them. Thank you. Now, see, it's letting me remove that one, but it wouldn't let me do it on the other one. That's kind of funny. So, like on that one, it let me completely get rid of it, but it wouldn't let me get rid of the other ones. You have a blessed week too, Rainbow 505. We appreciate you a lot. Hit the hide them from the channel to stop everything they put up. Yeah, I know how to do it, Duncan, but when you go up like right now, like on that first guy you did, if I go up beside him, it's not giving me the option to do that. When I went to him, it let me, but on the one before, the guy that you guys mentioned to me, like if I go up here beside his name, it doesn't even give me 3 dots to block him. So I don't know why, but it is. Moderating is the best. They are awesome. They do a great job. Go check out all their channels. They have great channels themselves, or great supporters of every channel. If you're not, Sherry Mize, if you are thinking about doing a channel, ever doing videos of your own, you need to go look up Two Family Homestead. They will give you every piece of information that you absolutely have ever wanted to know. I can't spell Sherry Mize, so don't worry about it. Maybe, yeah. I'm not sure. So, all right, guys, we're at 3 hours and 2 minutes right now. So I'm going to say, as always, good night. God bless. Live with what God gives you. And we're out of here tonight. See you in a day or so. I kill a huge spider crawling across the floor. Division. Time flies. Yes, it does. Yeah, 30 minutes to say goodnight. Exactly.